second from half court.
Jumping for joy.
First ever.
A 2-on-1. Oh,
did he bring it in? He did.
It is.
caught!
When the Michigan high school football season began in the sweltering days of August, this is the game the entire state wanted to see. And tonight, on Sunday night on Thanksgiving weekend, this is the game we get to watch. Undefeated Cass Tech against undefeated Detroit Catholic Central with a state championship on the line. Welcome to the booth, high above Ford Field. With the former Michigan Wolverine, Grant Perry, I'm Evan Stockton. Alexis Ayala joins us on the sidelines in a moment. Grant, this ball game is truly a galaxy of stars, and we focus on the two who shine the brightest. We begin with the technicians of Detroit Cass Tech, and they're do-it-everything guy, Corey Sadler, the Mr. Football candidate. He's got one high school game left to play before he goes and plays for Bill Belichick in the North Carolina Tar Heels.
And boy, you got to imagine it's going to be fireworks. In Corey Sadler's last game, he has been an impact player since he stepped foot on campus as a freshman. I say campus, I mean high school. But he is at 50 catches, 1,400 yards, 20 touchdowns. You name it, he can do it. Plays both ways. There's a reason he's going to Chapel Bill, as they say, next year. And I'm excited to see him play tonight and on future Saturdays.
And then on the other side, for Detroit Catholic Central, the fastest high school man in the history of the state plays for the Shamrocks. His name is Samson Gash, and don't blink, because you're going to miss him doing something special.
Samson Gash, a special talent for this team, and not only can he do it in a multitude of ways, it's the speed that jumps off the page. He's a big play machine waiting to be unlocked. I'm excited to see him tonight. He's at 50 catches, 1,000 yards, 15 touchdowns. You name it, he can do it as well. It's speed versus speed tonight, Evan, and I can't wait.
It is going to be an outstanding matchup between the two best teams in the state of Michigan all year long. When you look at the keys, this game between Shamrocks and Technicians, what do you see?
Yeah, so for the Technicians, 2+ turnovers on defense. Ability to create turnovers and gain possessions is huge in this game. And I want them to stay ahead on offense. If they stay ahead and play ahead, Catholic Central hasn't been playing from behind a lot this year. And for Catholic Central, they have to dominate the line of scrimmage. They want to have an aggressive run game. So look for them to dominate the line of scrimmage and win the time of possession battle.
All season long, high school football fans around our great state have gone, who's better? Cass Tech, Catholic Central? Tonight, we finally get to find out with a state championship on the line. This has the potential to be one of the greatest state championship games of all time. Catholic Central, Cass Tech for a crown. Kickoff is next. Another tremendous rendition of the national anthem by the Catholic Central Marching Band here in the state championship game for the first time since 2016. And that team in Valiant Blue and Peerless White is a motivated bunch tonight. For more on that, off we go to the third member of our crew, Alexis Ayala.
Detroit Catholic Central's warm-up shirts say finish what we started, in part referencing the loss to Cass Tech in the semis last year after going a perfect 12-0 heading into that game. But that slogan actually has more context than just that. Head coach Justin Sasante said that when he played college football at Grand Valley State University in 2001, they went on a historic run, a perfect 10-0 regular season record before advancing to the national championship game for the first time in the school's history. A heartbreaking loss took them out, and in 2002, they had the slogan, finish what we started. They did just that for those 2001 seniors that helped lead them to this moment. Fast forward to 2025, Coach Sasante brought up that slogan amongst about 20 others to the team, and the team, without context, ironically chose finish what we started. Coach Sasante said he wants to do it in part for those seniors last year, pay tribute to them, and finish what they started this year. Evan?
Lex, everybody involved in these two programs intimately understands the history between these two teams. And quite frankly, Cass Tech has owned this matchup. This is the fourth time Cass Tech has played Catholic Central in the state championship game. Cass Tech won the first three by a combined score of 134-54. But Grant, Justin Sasante and the entire Catholic Central coaching staff swears that this year will be different. This is the team to finish what they started, and they are staring down the defending state champions, the mighty Technicians of Cass Tech, who go to school less than a mile away from Ford Field, right in the face. Zach Ward, our head referee, leading the charge for this outstanding 7-man crew in the Division I state championship game. Fabian Garza will kick it deep to two of the fastest men in Michigan, Gideon Gash and Samson Gash, who both took kicks back for touchdowns last week in the semis against East Kentwood. This may be the most anticipated Division I state championship game of all time. Number 1 against number 2. And off we go. The kick is short and rolling out of bounds. Catholic Central's offense will get outstanding starting field position.
And they will, and they don't necessarily need it. They are a great offense. They move the ball at a great clip, and they like to pride themselves on the run game, Evan. And that's led by number 26, Cedric Williams, senior running back, 5'11", 200 pounds, all region this year. Coming off a really good game. Look for him to be a difference maker in the run game. And we've talked about Samson on the edge, number 5. He's an explosive playmaker waiting to be unleashed. And Jack Janda, two-way player, Wisconsin commit. Look out for number 44, 6'6" on the height chart. He's going to be owned in the middle of the field in the pass game. Excited to see what Catholic Central rolls out with on this first drive.
Duke Banta, one of the rare junior captains at Catholic Central, and the pistol to start the football game with Cedric Williams. They'll give it to 26. Williams, a patient run, and he gains a couple of yards right into the teeth of that technician defense. Colin Sumter, one of the men, making the tackle for the Green Guys. You know, you were talking about that starting offense, Grant, for Catholic Central. The one question mark for them coming into the season was the offensive line. 4 junior starters, which is a rarity for a program like CC.
It is, but they have been playing very well together, all 5 guys, and it's outlined and highlighted by number 75 left guard Benny Azuka, who recently just decommitted from Penn State. Look for number 75 to pave the way in the run game.
Banta gives again. How about that spin move from Cedric Williams? He hit the circle button to get away from one guy and set up third down and short for Catholic Central.
And just like that, Benny Azuka at the point of attack has a great kick-out block. Cedric Williams was able to bounce off that and get a few yards. And as you're looking at it now, you're seeing the starting defensive lineup for the Cass Technicians, and highlighting a couple guys. Brian Stovall, number 16, defensive edge. He's committed to Toledo. He's going to have his hands full going against Benny Azuka. Look out for C.J. Sadler, number 1. He is a playmaker in that secondary.
How about this formation for Catholic Central? Somewhere Tom Mack smiles, they're in the tight T. They turn and give. That's 36 wham for a first down in the state championship game. For the first time in nearly a decade, they're running the wham at Ford Field. Jalen Mott-Lewis moves the sticks.
Hey, some old ways, you got to get back to them, and just like that, they do it. They get that old school Catholic Central football going, and like you said, Evan, they hit the wham right up the middle. That's a fast-hitting play, and if that D-line isn't ready, that's going to hit and gash, and that does exactly that right there. Number 24, Jalen Mott-Lewis picks up the first down for the Shamrocks.
Already a couple of minutes off the first quarter clock on this game-opening drive. Back to Cedric Williams. Lean into the teeth of that Cass Tech defense again, and gaining a solid chunk on first down.
And talking with Coach Asante this week, they said that they're going to pride themselves on being the more physical team today. And they've already come out and they've said, hey, we're going to run this football, and we're going to make you stop us. Some gap scheme, some outside zone. Right there, Catholic Central was able to get some linemen at the point of attack on that right edge. Number 17, Darius Summers, the NIU commit, got blocked off the ball, and Catholic Central rolling here, second down, 6.
Samson Gash, the man in motion. That's who Banta gets it to. First touch for the fastest man in Michigan, but no one is going to watch him run very far on this play, as Marcus Jennings, the future Pitt Panther, is showing that fin they like to do at Pitt.
And the thing about Samson Gash is his ability to break the first tackle is honestly one of the best in the state. He's going against some guys that can tackle some of the best guys in the state. They go against C.J. Sadler every day. And number 6, Marcus Jennings, outside linebacker, like you said, Evan, committed to Pittsburgh. He was ready for that one. 6'3", 209 senior Marcus Jennings on the tackle.
Third down and 9 here for Catholic Central. Banta, very capable passer this season, 75%. He's thrown exactly 2 interceptions the whole year. Gash, the man in motion again. Banta, the 3-step drop. Over the middle, it's caught, but it's not enough for the first down. Michael Dursa down to the ground to get it, and an early decision to make for Justin Sasante.
You got to give credit. You know, that was a low ball thrown, but Michael Dursa, 6'5", 200-pound receiver, going low and catching that football. That's a great job by Michael. Because if he doesn't catch it, I don't know if Sasante says, hey, guys, we're going to go for this. But Michael Dursa puts Catholic Central in a position to, hey, this is about 4th down and 4 to 3, right where we feel comfortable in Cass Tech territory. Offense is still on the field for the Shamrocks.
4th down 4. Play clock at 5.
You're getting a crowded line, Evan. Looks like man coverage across the board. This is an opportunity for Samson Gash.
And Justin Sasante burns one of his timeouts. Now Catholic Central can truly think about this decision.
And rightfully so. Cass Tech came out with a 5-down front, which looked like a cover 0 look. Coach Sasante was expecting some type of pressure. Young quarterback Duke Banta, nothing but good things said about him. He's a very cerebral player. They probably just wanted to make sure he had the right adjustments made, the right protection set. Because right here, we're facing a very big 4th down, and there's an opportunity here, Evan, when they go cover 0, cover 1. If you do get that right look, if you do get the right play in, there's an opportunity with playmakers like Samson Gash, younger brother Gideon Gash, Jack Janda, to go and win one-on-one opportunities. And I think that's exactly what you're going to see happen right here.
Opening drive of the Division I state championship game. 2 undefeated teams that have been circling each other the entire season. And in what figures to be a heavyweight fight, here is your first early chance for a big punch. They're going to go for it 4th down. Banta's got the time. He's uncorking a deep one, and he's got Gideon Gash! Justin Sasante, a gambling man, and it pays off for 6.
One-on-one opportunity really turned into a 2-on-1. The safety right there, Emory Jones, just couldn't quite get over top. And 6'4" junior receiver going against a well undersized number 19 Marquell Evans. I'm going to take Gideon Gash in that matchup all time. And Cass Tech, they got to get that safety a little bit more depth. Saw that one-on-one coverage coming a mile away, and Catholic Central with the gamble, Evan, converts it.
The extra point is no good. The snap from Rule Essman was high. Cam Swearingen got it down. But Ty Goddard's talking right now to Swearingen, and that could prove to be a pivotal point lost. But still, Catholic Central, the early punch, the early salvo in this game. You know, Gideon Gash is known for being a defensive back. Justin Sasante compares him to Sauce Gardner with those long arms. But he makes the early big play that puts the Shamrocks in front. Let's go down to the sidelines and Lex.
Detroit Catholic Central's head coach Justin Sasante said his junior QB and captain Duke Banta doesn't get enough credit. He said that for him to become a junior QB, it's so impressive. He's a captain, which was voted on by the team, and it's only happened to a non-senior a handful of times in the history of CC's program. But he said because his dad, Bradford Banta, who was a long snapper in the NFL and formerly an assistant coach with the Detroit Lions, he just knows what it's like, what it takes to make it happen in the big moments, and it's contagious for a football team. Evan?
Duke Banta, a calm and cool customer in that pocket, delivering that dime to Gideon Gash. But pay attention now with those dangerous men back deep for the Cass Tech technicians, led by Corey Sadler. Number 1 in green and white, has taken 7 kicks back for touchdowns this season. Goddard to kick it away after the extra point was blocked. Sadler watches that one go in the end zone, and it will be a touchback for Cass Tech. You know, Grant, we have been blessed in our state of Michigan within the last half-decade. Remarkable quarterbacks have come through at the high school level. Down the road at Detroit King, Dante Moore was a star, and he's turned into a superstar with the Oregon Ducks. Bryce Underwood at Belleville. Came here to Ford Field, won some state championships. Now he's with the Michigan Wolverines. You're about to watch the next quarterback in line, Donald Tabron, for the Cass Tech Technicians.
And Donald Tabron, the second, you're just a young sophomore, but has that prototypical next-level build at the quarterback position. 6'4", 192 pounds. He's a gunslinger, but also a cerebral player. Understands defenses, can read coverages, and can fit balls into tight windows. We talked about Corey Sadler, number 1. Matchup I want to look out for, number 55, left tackle, Mizzou commit, Khalif Canty, going against number 44, Jack Janda, the Wisconsin commit for Catholic Central. Look out for that in the trenches.
Tabron swings it out to guess who? Corey Sadler. Switching the field and finding green turf. Corey Sadler, a walking highlight. Blink your eyes, and Cass Tech in business.
Man, and when we watch this replay, Evan, Cass Tech coaches and O-line coach Dave Dawson played with him at Michigan. He's going to be upset because this is the old school. Somebody got the wrong play. 2 pullers pull at the point of attack, and watch this right here. 2 pullers run into each other. Play is essentially dead, but not dead when you have CJ Corey Sadler. He reverses field all the way and showing that speed and the ability to cut back and the blocking downfield from number 0, Mylan Grigg, setting Cass Tech up in Catholic Central territory.
Damari Hendricks, the back with Tabron in the gun. That's who he gives it to. And the diminutive number 2, with a late flag coming in, was tackled right around the 39-yard line. Hendricks is saying face mask.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, first down.
Zach Porritt tells the Catholic Central faithful that this first drive against that Shamrock defense is going in the direction they don't want to see, and Cass Tech right away moving that football down the field.
Yeah, and Damari Hendricks, number 2, was on the run there, and he was the one that got his face mask pulled. He's a smaller running back, but sometimes that works into your advantage, able to fit through tight holes and hide behind that big old line. And it's like number 7, Julian Taylor, is checked in at running back.
They fake it to him. Tabron with time. Tabron deep ball. And he just missed Peyton Robinson, one of the finest freshmen in Michigan.
It looks like number 6, Josh Atiemo, excuse me. Away a little bit of a tug there on the jersey, but physical contact downfield. This is going to be one of those physical games. And speaking of the defense, Hunter Stokes, captain on this defense, defensive end, 6'1", 225-pound senior. But look at number 44. He's a captain as well. He's committed to Wisconsin. And number 75 inside, Benny Azuka, another captain on this team, just decommitted from Penn State. And to block those guys up front if Cass Tech wants to get the ground game going here early.
Couple of backs with Tabron. Second down 10. High snap that he gets down, and this play is destroyed. Jalen Mott-Lewis says, "You're not going anywhere."
Jalen Mott-Lewis coming from that middle linebacker spot. They're going to run this 3-4-4-3. They're going to rotate different linebackers in, but Jalen Mott-Lewis is a guy that stays in there 9 times out of 10, and you can see why. Nose for the football, able to navigate that offensive line and shoot the gap. And Jalen Mott-Lewis saying, you know what, let's not go our way. Let's push it back your way. And Cass Tech here fighting on a 3rd down and long in the red zone.
Fabian Garza is a capable kicker, but this is outside his range. 3rd down and a mile for Cass Tech. Tabron falls down. The initial pressure was coming from Brandon Bartolucci, and big Jack Janda joined the party too.
Bartolucci had great edge pressure there. Evan was able just to move the pocket up. Tabron was affected a little bit by it, steps up and loses his footing, the young quarterback. Just trying to make a play downfield and loses his foot and can feel that rush coming from these Big Ten commits and Jack Janda, Benny Azuka. But Brandon Bartolucci, 6'2", 225-pound senior with the pressure off the edge, able to make the young quarterback for Cass Tech a little uneasy.
Tabron coming off the field. Catholic Central's defense forces punt. The punter for Cass Tech is Corey Sadler, and watch out for that tonight because Sadler was a quarterback at Cass Tech during his high school career. As there's going to be delay of game here on Cass Tech.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Honestly, for Cass Tech, may not be the worst thing in the world. Gives them a little more breathing room for Marvin Rushing and his team to punt it away.
Yep, a little bit more room here. And big thing for C.J. Sadler, not a traditional punter, but don't want to kick line drive. You got a dangerous return man in Samson Gash, and if you give him an opportunity and don't let your coverage team cover, Samson Gash can make you pay.
Sadler kicks it away from him, and it'll roll out of bounds right around the 13-yard line. That's where drive number 2 for Catholic Central will start.
Catholic Central's first drive really got off to a great start, established the run, and was able to find a one-on-one matchup where that receiver, 6'4". We talked about Samson, but he's got a younger brother who's actually bigger than him. 6'4", Gideon Gash was able to beat the safety, beat the corner for a touchdown on that first drive. And got to imagine they're going to establish the run again here, but I'm expecting to see 44 touch the ball here soon. Jack Janda, 6'6", headed to Wisconsin. He's a problem, and quite frankly, he's a mismatch for this Cass Tech defense.
No, it's a Cass Tech defense that has been surging in the playoffs. 10 points per game on the season. In the playoffs, they played really well the first couple of weeks, and then the last couple of weeks against stiff competition, they bent but didn't break. As Cedric Williams plows into the teeth of that D-line and maybe gains a yard. Similar type scenario against Rochester Adams last week. Catholic Central wants to establish the run. The Highlanders run one of the best rushing offenses at the Division I level, and Cass Tech did a pretty good job bottling them up last week.
Yeah, they do. And Rochester Adams, Coach Mark Petrito does a fantastic job there, and Rylan Waters, their quarterback, great rushing quarterback. A little bit of a different look here from Catholic Central. Duke Banta is primarily a passer, hander-offer of the football, but they got a stable of running backs for Catholic Central. Cass Tech's got their hands full.
Another pitch. Cedric Williams again. Got away from one guy, and then LaMarcus Army and the rest of the Army helped to finish the job. Another 3rd down coming up here for Catholic Central.
Let me be interested to see here. This is, leans its hand to probably a passing down, but I want to see, do they keep trying to attack number 19, Marquell Evans? He was the defender that guarded Gideon Gash on that touchdown on the first drive. Interested to see what they do here. Again, Marquell Evans lined up against number 11, Gideon Gash. Look out for that matchup to the top of your screen.
3rd down, 6. Banta dropping back. Has to evacuate the pocket, and he slides ahead. The initial spot is 1st down. Remember, it's where you started the slide, not where you finished the slide. But the guy who grew up with a dad as a football coach knows all those rules. Move the sticks for the Shamrocks.
Duke Banta, son of Bradford Banta, had the opportunity to actually spend some time with Bradford Banta at the University of Michigan. He was an assistant coach after my time playing there, and man, one of the smartest coaches I've been around. A big special teams guru. It's no surprise that Duke Banta has garnished some of those values, and you can tell by the way he plays, he's a smart, cerebral quarterback for Catholic Central.
Williams shift to his left hip. Banta quick drop. Banta deep throw. Incomplete, but a flag. There's your primetime matchup. Samson Gash against Corey Sadler, and that time Samson won.
Samson won, draws the PI. Corey Sadler playing a little grab of the jersey, trying to make it
pass interference,
very
defense.
obvious.
It's a 15-yard penalty, results in a 1st down.
But Stripes is all over it. Good job there, and they're just playing physical out here, and you're going to see a little bit of a tug by the left hand of Sadler. I think it happened a little bit earlier in that route. That's a matchup that we are all watching today. Number 5, Samson Gash, committed to Michigan State, going against number 1, Corey Sadler, who is committed to North Carolina.
Samson Gash is a guy who is unafraid to try different athletic workouts. This offseason, he actually went to a Pure Barre location in Novi, Michigan, right down the road from Catholic Central, which is ballet-based workouts. Samson will try a little bit of anything.
Don't you shame ballet workouts. Those are hard, man.
Cedric Williams running left. He got popped as he got to the 40 and pushed back. Big-time hit by Gavin Fernandez.
Gavin Fernandez hustling from that nose guard position. The senior there able to make an impact on this tackle. Watch him just follow the ball down the line of scrimmage. Great job of staying flat, being violent through the hit. It's a great tackle there by number 41, Gavin Fernandez. But Evan, those Pure Bar workouts, I've done one, man. Those are no joke.
Brother, you are preaching to the choir. I may or may not know the owner of the Pure Bar in Novi. Samson Gash, Pure Bar's alumni, gets the football, and he's cutting back. He cut back into a couple of green guys. Colin Sumter, one of the men bringing him down. And here we go again, like clockwork in this first quarter. Another big third down for the Shamrocks.
Very big third down, but got to credit Darius Summers here on the edge. Able to contain Samson. It's the backside that has to fill their role and fill their gaps. Samson was able to get a few yards off the backside, but good job by the Northern Illinois commit. Darius Summers, the third, number 17, holding down that left side. And right here, like you said, Evan, a huge third down. And I'm looking at number 11, number 5, and number 44, Jack Janin, maybe get involved here. Looks like they're actually in 10 personnel. I take that back. All receivers, 1 running back, Evan.
Williams motions out. Banta's alone. Duke Banta taking a deep shot, and he just missed Gideon Gash, who had a step on LaMarcus Army.
Ooh. They might have found something here. They're taking these one-on-one shots, and yeah, that one wasn't completed, but Gideon Gash ran a great route, stacked his receiver, I mean, once he gets by him, watch this route. He's on top of him. Quarterback puts it right on the red line, just a tad bit over his hands, and that's a tough one right there, but Gideon Gash caught the touchdown earlier. Catholic Central and Duke Banta going to come back to him, I guarantee it.
Feels like a big dodged opportunity for Cass Tech. They're about to get the football back. Joshua Peters, the lefty, sends it away. And Corey Sadler's got it at the 15. Corey Sadler brought down by a couple of Shamrocks. Nice job on special teams. Luca Genrich, one of the men making the tackle for Catholic Central.
Credit Josh Peters. I mean, you're going to have to punt to Corey Sadler at some point today. He just did. Bold move, brave move, but the key on it is get in the air. Allow the coverage team to get down there and corral Corey Sadler. Last thing you want to give him is a line drive that allows him to just get on the move. So great job there by punter number 12, Josh Peters, of putting a little air under, allowing his aggressive Shamrocks to cover that football. They're going to have to be on their P's and Q's on all 3 phases because Corey Sadler can take any touch of the football to the house.
You know, the thing that was missing, Grant, from that opening drive for Cass Tech, where was Julian Taylor, the human battering man, the superstar sophomore at running back, number 7, who ran for 5 touchdowns last week? He didn't touch the ball at all on that first drive. If I was a betting man, I'd say he's getting it here. I just won that bet, but he's not going to get very many yards. Took a couple of Shamrocks for a ride, gain of 2 or 3. Brandon Bartolucci, the first man making contact.
You had that same thought. I think everyone on this Valiant Blue sideline had that same thought. You know, they were like, hey, this number 7, Julian Taylor's got 5 offers. How about Wisconsin and Pittsburgh to be 2 of them? He's 5'10", 215 pounds as a sophomore, and I think the whole building knew he was going to touch it here sooner or later, and Catholic Central was all over that left side of the line of scrimmage, held down by Benny Azuka. Really good job there, playing in his gap, not allowing the big sophomore to run by him.
Could be the final play of the first quarter here. 2nd down, 7. Tabron, drop. Tabron, throw, incomplete. Sadler laid a gigantic hit, or that would have been an interception for Connor Ryan.
And they go curl flat concept there, Evan, and the number 1 rule to read is if that buzz defender, who in that case was the outside linebacker Connor Ryan, if he sits in that curl window, put the ball on the flat now. So right here, ball on flat, ball on flat. The young quarterback tries to force it to CJ. Connor Ryan sits in that hole, does exactly what that hook hole player should do. And right there, Catholic Central misses an opportunity to take the football away, and Donald Tabron, young quarterback who doesn't make a lot of mistakes, gets caught up on his first read and should have came off to the flat.
3rd down, 7 for the technicians, and before they do it,
Timeout.
Rushing will call
Cass
timeout.
Tech, their first of the half.
You know, the cool thing about both of these programs is they are led by alums as the head coaches. Marvin Rushing for Cass Tech, 5th season, won the state championship as the head coach last year. He replaced Thomas Wilcher, who was a legend at Cass Tech. 24 years, 3 state championships. Marvin Rushing was the quarterback under Thomas Wilcher at Cass Tech once upon a time. And on the other side for Catholic Central, Justin Sassante, his 3rd season. Lex already told you how he's a Catholic Central alum, and he played for Brian Kelly at Grand Valley. Justin Sassante played for Tom Mack, one of the finest high school football coaches ever in Michigan. And when he got the job at Catholic Central 3 years ago, his stated mission was, we're going to get it back to what I knew and loved when I was in school. Not that the program wasn't in a good place when Tom Mack retired and then Dan Anderson took the job for a handful of years, but Justin Sassante has poured everything into this Catholic Central program. He told us when we talked to him earlier this week in the lead up to the game, I wouldn't do another job for any amount of money in the world. Now, whether you believe him or not, you decide, but still, you can see the influence that Justin Sassante has had on this Shamrock program as they make their return to the state championship tonight.
Absolutely, and he also mentioned, like, prior to getting this job and being the head coach, he also didn't see it coming. He never saw himself in that position until it came, and he feels so blessed to be in this position to lead these young men, and I can't think of a better candidate to do it.
Out of the timeout, Tabron pump, and he does get it to Griggs, but he is swallowed. A lot of Shamrocks raw into the football there. Josh Atiemo makes the tackle.
Atiemo, great job there. They try to get a little fake bubble, and they're trying to find a receiver downfield, but Catholic Central was not fooled. And that flat buzz defender, Atiemo, Josh, was all over it, drived and tackled Mylan Griggs for no gain.
Back-to-back drives for Cass Tech that have ended before you can blink your eyes, and they'll have to punt the football when we start the second quarter. Number 1 against number 2, undefeated Catholic Central against undefeated Cass Tech, and the Shamrocks lead by 6 after 1 quarter of ball.
Detroit Cass Tech's head coach Marvin Rushing said his team's motto this year is 2024 paychecks don't pay 2025 bills. He said when you have success, you build on it, you learn from it, you evolve, but it doesn't guarantee you success for tomorrow. Coach Rushing said the thing that he's most proud of, though, is not just the team's work ethic on the field, but off. In the classroom, the team has a cumulative GPA of 3.26, and that's what proved to Coach Rushing the team's ultimate buy-in. He said they respect themselves, they respect each other, and they respect their opponents, whether that's Detroit CC or the classroom. Evan?
Lex, appreciate it, and so happy to highlight 2 great high schools tonight, specifically Cass Tech. Less than a mile from Ford Field, beautiful campus. A who's who of Detroiters are Cass Tech alums, including the guy who played the halftime show at Thanksgiving here a few days ago, Jack White. Punt, Corey Sadler sends away with a little bit of pressure. Again, kicking away from Samson Gash, and because they're kicking away from him, this Shamrock drive is going to start right around midfield.
CC's looking like they're going to have great field position here. CJ Sadler's doing a good job of directionally punting away from the threat of Samson Gash, but with that directional punt, you lose a few yards. And right now, Catholic Central is just a few yards away from midfield, and got to imagine they're going to build on the momentum that they have. Right now, the advantage is their ability to run the football. And what that does for you is it opens up the pass game. Cass Tech kind of trying to pass more than run. Catholic Central's all over it. Establish the run, open the pass. Catholic Central, it's exactly what they've been doing. They've been finding success. Expect the same here on this drive.
Catholic Central, 10-time state champions, but by their standards, they are in a slump. They haven't won a state title since 2009. And tonight, they're back in the state championship for the first time since 2016. Cedric Williams, the pistol back. Banta fakes it to him. Duke's got time. He's uncorking one. And it's knocked away in round 2 between Sadler and Gash. Corey just sheathed his sword.
1-1 right now. We're going to keep a running total. Samson Gash drew the PI on the first attempt, and they were in coverage together right there. Corey Sadler says, you know what, I can play some coverage just as well, and he gets back. Great job, great in phase, and then puts a hand up on the ball. And Samson Gash has found so much success with that because he can run away from half of the state. Corey Sadler, he is a different beast. He can stay with most of them. Excited to see how this matchup progresses throughout the night.
They fed Cedric Williams a lot, already 6 carries. Here's carry number 7. And that one was for basically nothing. Justin Bonner, one of the middle linebackers, makes the initial hit. Gain of 2, and they're down at 8 coming up.
And that was supposed to hit right in the CD gap area, but number 44, Martez Livingston, big D tackle, was able to swim move his guy, get into the backfield, and force Cedric Williams into the help of the defense. That play was made by number 44, Martez Livingston.
Start of the second quarter here at Ford Field. Shamrocks scored on their opening drive. Here is drive number 3 tonight, and 3rd down 8. Banta throwing, middle screen, juggling catch, Samson Gash, and Corey Sadler got him in the middle of the field. I think it's Corey's one-man mission tonight to shut down Samson Gash.
You know how bad, Evan, I would love just to have 2 mics on these guys to be able to get a little insight on what kind of trash they're talking, what the conversation's like on the field. Because when you get 2 guys that are going to Power 4 schools, Samson to Michigan State, CJ to North Carolina, you get a lot of that confidence out of both of them. Both of them want to shine on this stage, but only one can truly prevail. And right now, it's been a clash of 2 big superstars. And this one's going to be a good one, folks.
Second punt for Joshua Peters. Sadler's got it at his 13. Corey Sadler is suffocated. I think it's the entire punt unit's job for Catholic Central tonight to make sure number 1 doesn't get loose. Whole bunch of Shamrocks stopped him at the 10.
Again, a credit to this punt team, and we always talk win 2 out of 3 phases. And punting the ball to a guy that's a scary man, that's a scary task. But when you do it with a group that is in line with what the goal is, hey, we're going to punt this thing high, we're going to send our coverage men down there, and we're going to contain Corey Sadler. That's exactly what they just did. Round 2 on punt.
3rd drive of the night for Cass Tech. I don't know how many times this year in games they've had to go until the 3rd drive without scoring points. This offense, as usual, electric. 47 points per game this season. Tabron gives. Julian Taylor runs. Put his initial shoulder into Jalen Mott-Lewis. And Jack Janda made the tackle after a gain of about 5.
And the biggest thing here for Cass Tech on this drive is to just get the ball rolling, get 2 first downs here. You see Julian Taylor just take it full speed, and that's what they're missing. Just some attacking downhill with your big running back and establish some dominance up front. Cass Tech has to establish the run game here if they want to see some success in the air. Right now, Julian Taylor with a nice 5-yard run on first down.
Tabron, throw, Griggs, catch. It's already been a big year for Mylan Griggs here at Ford Field. In the PSL championship game against King, he caught a couple of pivotal touchdowns and a catch here to make it 3rd down and less than 1.
Good job by Mylan. Just a quick, easy throw. Short side of the field, Donald Tabron makes a decision. Hey, I'm going to throw my hitch to the right, off coverage against number 2, Luka Genrich. Easy throw, and Mylan Griggs, a young sophomore, but already receiving a lot of attention, has a number of offers, and not to mention, he might or might not be my cousin. Some good bloodlines that we have. I was going to say,
I can't believe we got this far on the broadcast without this coming up. That's fantastic. 3rd down short. Taylor's got it. Julian Taylor had to make the first man miss. Oh, they had him in the backfield, but Cole DeVokai couldn't make the tackle, and Cass Tech keeps the drive alive.
And that's why they love Julian Taylor. Yeah, he may be a sophomore, but it's not easy to tackle this cat. Watch this right here. He's dead to rights in the backfield, and just like you said, the missed tackle was everything. He's a big 215 pounds, so you've got to bring multiple hats in number 7, Julian Taylor, when you want to tackle him. Needed about 2 or 3, got just that. Cass Tech keeps the ball rolling.
A rare first down in this first half for Cass Tech. They've only had a couple. Play fake to Taylor. Tabron down the middle. And a wide open man. That's Peyton Robinson. He's already targeted him a couple of times in this first half. That's a gain of 12 that moves to 6.
And it's going to be like guys like Peyton Robinson that have to step up because the attention is on Corey Sadler, and they're going to be moving multiple guys. There's going to be safeties over top. So who else can step up? We also noticed early pregame that Will Sykes, one of their main targets, number 5, had a cast on his right hand. Haven't seen him in the game. He is a huge component of this offense. So it's going to be guys like Peyton Robinson, Mylan Griggs that have to step up in the pass game.
Taylor checks out. Damari Hendricks back in. They give it to him. Bouncing off blockers on that left side of the line for a gain of about 4. Sometimes on rosters they lie. Damari Hendricks is listed at 5'5". I don't know if he's actually 5'5".
He's a smaller running back, and while you can point out he may be 5'5", maybe 5'4", but I'll tell you one thing: his ability to contact balance, have some good contact balance, stay low and find the hole, he's as good as they come at that.
Stays in the game. 2nd down, 6. Tayron fields the low snap. He's pumping. He's throwing. Incomplete. Sadler and Gideon Gash locked up that time.
Gideon Gash standing at 6'4". That's going to be a lot harder of a ball to complete, especially with Sadler only being and coming in at 5'11". Donald Tayron pretty much looked and wanted C.J. Sadler the whole time, but got to give credit to Gideon Gash, able to push him to the sideline. As a receiver running that go route, you want to maintain what we call the red line. You don't see him out in this field, but there's usually a red line on the field, and you want to maintain on that line so the quarterback can throw you open outside of it. Gideon Gash did a great job of pushing C.J. to the sideline, allowing no room for that completion.
Play clock already down to 5 here. Tayron just got it off. They set up middle screen, and it is darn close. Marquell Evans Jr. is short by a yard. What decision do you make?
I think Cass Tech, they're gonna think about it, but players want to go for it. Coach wants to instill some confidence. He'll keep those technicians out there and go for it here. With a guy like Julian Taylor, we just saw him break a tackle 2 yards in the backfield and pick up a first down 3 yards downfield. It looks like Marv Rushing, head coach for Cass Tech, is going to play the field position game here.
You think that's the right decision?
You know, I mean, your defense did just get a stop. It's still only 6-0. If you do not get this, you give Catholic Central fantastic field position. C.J. Sadler's been doing a decent job of kicking it away from Sampson. I don't mind this decision by Coach Marv Rushing, putting some confidence into your defense, saying, hey, guys, let's go ahead and stop him one more time.
Play clock ran out, so there's not a decision to make anymore.
Delay game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
And you may think, okay, Evan, what does it matter? They were lining up to punt anyway. Remember, their punter is Corey Sadler, who started last season as their quarterback. Hypothetically, you could more likely run a fake on 4th down and 1 versus 4th and 6.
I'd be willing to bet that they have something in their arsenal today. With everything on the line, they need something from the punt team. Corey Sadler probably has something dialed up.
This is his 3rd punt tonight. He punted 11 times all season before tonight. Samson Gash fields at the 27. Running up the seam. The fastest man in Michigan is loose. Julian Taylor slows him up before he can get to the goal line. But Samson Gash with a lightning bolt to set up Catholic Central.
And that's exactly what Catholic Central wanted. A nice pop fly to Samson Gash. Great job by the punt team of blocking their guys all the way downfield. Luka Genrich right there, blocking his guy. And then you just allow the speedster to do what he does best, find the green grass and run. Catholic Central's been punting to C.J. Sadler, but they've been covering him very well. Cass Tech finally gives one to Sampson. Sampson makes him pay. Got to think, man, Coach Marv Rushing now probably wishes he had went for it.
We'll zoom out here too, right? Cass Tech is going to get the ball to start the 2nd half. Both teams have 2 timeouts. If Catholic Central scores a touchdown here and goes up 2 scores, heck, if they even kick a field goal and go up by 2 scores, it makes this football game look a whole heck of a lot different all of a sudden. Banta gives to Williams. Cedric Williams running hard tonight. There's just not a lot of real estate. That was his 8th carry, and he's gained about 24 yards.
I mean, it's just this is a battle of the trenches, man. Philippe Canty on Cass Tech, you know, he's the Mizzou commit. I know they're not on offense right now, but just thinking of these guys up front, there's so much meat, potatoes, and prospects up front. Jack Jana just had a block from the tight end position. Benny Azuka's a 2-way player. It's going to matter and depend on this trench war. for the team that wants to come out on top.
And a flag. It's going to back up Catholic Central.
We're going to get Eric Anderson on that one. 72, just a little excited.
Full start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
And, you know, I can't blame him. You know, Coach Asante, he's going to be mad. He's going to say, hey, Eric, hold your water. But essentially, Eric Anderson just was given a play call that running backs get or receivers get when you know you're getting the football. He got a pull, gap scheme call. He was getting ready to go on the opposite side and tear somebody up. So you respect his ability to be excited. Just got to control that water a little bit.
Turns 2nd down 7 into 2nd down 12. Catholic Central's got to get to the 15. Play fake, throw, Gash, catch, Sampson, Gash, and Sadler made sure he wouldn't rumble into the blue paint, but it's another big chunk and 1st and goal for CC.
Catholic Central, they've had that touchdown throw to Gideon Gash, and since then the deep ball hasn't really been there. So what have they gone to? A little RPO screen here. Banta keeps it, just throws it out to the speedster Samson Gash, and they get great blocking on the perimeter. Samson Gash, you give him an ounce of space, he'll take more than an ounce of yardage from you. And right there, Samson Gash with a great run, great catch to put them inside the 10-yard line.
Catholic Central does have a kicking game. Ty Goddard's made a 42-yarder this year. But they're not thinking 3 here. They're thinking 6. Single wing with Josh Peters. Running left. Ran over Army. And then about 6 green guys finally brought him down. As in the end zone, Samson Gash lost his helmet. That's why the Catholic Central student section is making a little noise.
You know who was partnering up with him out there? C.J. Sadler. That's why I want to get a mic on him. I want to listen to him right here. This is a quarterback design run with Josh Peters. Good job by Marcus Army first to the ball, and the rest of those Cass Tech technicians making a tackle. Interesting to see here. This 5 to the goal line is such a hard place to score, especially when you have so many good prospects on both sides of the football for both teams. I think it's really going to matter who's efficient here in the red zone and who can come up with those explosive plays. Right now, Catholic Central is winning that explosive play battle. I want to see, can they dominate inside the 10-yard line?
Got to go quick here. Play clock's at 7. Single wing with Peters again. And with that play clock running down, Justin Sasante burns his 2nd time.
Timeout. Catholic Central. They're 2nd of the half.
And last time they burned a timeout, they went and scored a touchdown. So Sasante using these timeouts wisely. I always like to see what comes after that timeout. First timeout they burn. Next play, they throw a deep ball to Gideon Gash. He catches it for a touchdown. Got to imagine that they're going to go through their Rolodex of plays here, talking with the offensive coordinator and saying, hey, what do you like? What personnel was the defense in? Did you see 5 down linemen? Did you see 4? They're going to make a decision on what they want to do off of that. I think it's just a matter of, do we attack in between the tackles or do we use speed in space on the perimeter? 2 more downs to do it. Got to imagine that this is 4-down territory if they keep going forward.
And maybe you're watching this game at home and going, why are there so many Catholic Central students at the game today? It's Sunday night. Don't they have school tomorrow? But they don't. They gave them the day off tomorrow, so everyone can come here and watch the state championship game.
That's pretty darn cool. You tell Roger Goodell to give the whole world off after Super Bowl? That'd be pretty
trying
sweet.
to get the Super Bowl the day before President's Day. He's trying. Turn and give Cedric Williams. And he is dominoed down at the 5. That warfare in the trenches, man. It's been that way all game, and it sets up 3rd down goal for Catholic Central.
It is. Both these teams have been working their tails off to try to find a yard an inch, and Marcus Jennings on the backside hustling, cleaning up that tackle. Couldn't see front side, but someone front side was able to get outside and force Cedric back in, allowing Marcus Jennings to come backside and hit a nice hit on number 26, Cedric Taylor. Cedric Williams, excuse me.
What are you doing here if you're CC? What do you think?
Trying to get 2 to 3 yards, and then I'm going to find my next best play, and I'm still going for it.
Samson Gash, the man in motion. Peters fields a high snap, and Joshua Peters is in for a Catholic Central touchdown. That was his 24th carry of the season. And Joshua Peters has scored on 7 of those 24 carries.
And I see why they got him in the ball game. Look at those arms. He's got some muscles on him, man. And then look at this. Just running a counter, sending Sampson one way, getting everyone to flow opposite. And then bringing your big old meaty running back the other way with lead blockers at the point of attack. Got to credit number 24. Getting in on that play. Making a great block downfield. Jalen Mont-Lewis making a difference without the football.
Last extra point was blocked. This time the operation is clean, and Ty Goddard slams through his 45th extra point of the season. So Catholic Central does score, but there's still 2:45 remaining to go in the first half, and Cass Tech gets the ball to start the second half. This is a very important sequence of the football game.
Yes, you always talk about that middle 8, whether it be the last 4 minutes of the second quarter or the first 4 minutes of the third. A lot of games are won and lost in that 8 minutes, and Cass Tech has the opportunity right now. Looking at the scoreboard, down 2 scores, to never count Cass Tech out. This is a great opportunity for them right now to put together a drive. Just over 2 minutes, that's all you can ask for. With a team like Cass Tech, all you need is about a minute. With guys like C.J. Sadler, Julian Taylor, company to make a big play. But right now, it's an important drive here for Cass Tech. This can go one of 2 ways. You can get some points on the board. UCC can get the ball and this half up 2 scores.
Gideon Gash, the first touchdown for CC on a 40-plus yard touchdown pass from Banta to Gideon Gash. This drive finishes on a short Joshua Peters run. And for the first time in a long time, a team on a 23-game win streak, Cass Tech, has been backed into their corner in this heavyweight fight. Do they start swinging like Rocky and get this fight back to the middle of the ring? Goddard will kick it deep. Sadler, one of the men standing back deep for the green guys at their 25. Sadler watches this one sail over his head. That is a live football. And you know what? Corey Sadler's the luckiest man in Detroit. If that thing stays in the field of play, he made the wrong decision.
Yeah, that was a very close call, and C.J. Sadler just, at that point, hoping, guessing, just praying that that ball goes out of bounds, because, man, oh man, the 23 fly down that field. Becky Glenn was coming with bad intentions, wanted to pick up that football and steal a possession.
But it ends up being the right decision for Corey. And now Cass Tech, an offense stuck in neutral all day. Maybe starting at the 35-yard line, they can finally put their foot on the accelerator.
Yep, good starting field position. The best starting field position in 2 drives. They got to do something with it here and now. They're going to go spread 2 by 2 here. O-line has to do a great job of protection with guys like Jack Janda and Benny Azuka rushing the passer.
Tabron just 5 of 8 for 52 yards tonight. Quick throw. It's caught by Mylan Griggs, and Luka Genrich wraps him up after a gain of 8.
Good job. And Donald Tabron just got to come into himself a little bit, got to find his comfort zone. He's still navigating what coverages they're giving. Are they giving off? Is it press? And right now, Donald Tabron trying to put together a drive.
Let's go down to Lex real quick.
Detroit Catholic Central head coach Justin Sasante said the learning point in his team's season was when they played a Canadian team. He said they had 19 and 20-year-olds on that team, and he said, I'm embarrassed to admit it, but a Canadian team out-physicaled us, the American team. But he said that was the moment that we made a promise to each other that we'd never be out-physicaled again. You can see their physicality on full display today with the lead against Detroit Cass Tech. Evan?
Yeah, Lex, that game in the second week of the season for Catholic Central, third game of the season against Clarkson North, one of their closest games of the year. They won it 41-28. Pitch and catch for a first down for Cass Tech. They have 2 timeouts, but for now the clock is winding, coming up on 1:45 to go.
Having covered Donald Tabron before, some of his issues came in pre-snap and getting the ball off before the delay of game. Let's see if we can get that going here as in the 2-minute drive.
3-step drop. Nothing open. Tabron evacuates the pocket and throws high. Big hit, middle of the field. Cole Davukai lays the lumber that time as the intended target on the play. Slow to get up for Cass Tech.
With that being an incompletion, gives Cass Tech here an opportunity to come together, try to figure out what play, what formation we want to get in. Got to admit right now, and Catholic Central is doing a great job of covering these speedsters. And their philosophy, as we can see it right now, is, hey, let them catch it in front of us and let's go rally to the football.
It's Victor Polk who took that big hit. Good to see 15 in green and white staying in the game. Julian Taylor running left. There's a flag down. The flag came first, and they were blowing the play dead before they threw more flags.
I don't know if everyone got set there, Evan. It felt kind of fast. Everyone got lined up, and the ball was snapped. See what Stripe says here.
Seven-man officiating crew here tonight, up from the normal 5. Zach Port will make the call. He was going to make the call, and then he just wanted to make sure he had all the details right.
Prior to the snap, full start, offense, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Man, if you're a Cass Tech fan watching, this has got to be so odd. You scored 48 points last week in the semis. You scored 42 the week before that, 48 the week before that, 46 against Northville in round 1, and just nothing is going right for them on offense.
They just can't find their flow. Haven't been able to get into a rhythm here in this first half. Would really help their momentum and a little bit of their confidence if they could hit an explosive play. But Catholic Central is doing a great job of keeping the umbrella on that explosiveness.
Draw handoff, Julian Taylor. There is room for Julian as he won't go down. What a physical end to the run as finally CC gets him to the ground at the 46. Wow.
That was a good run there. Good job of understanding the down and distance. Yeah, we have a long ways to go. Got to imagine Catholic Central is going to pin their ears back and rush. Let's go ahead and give it to our big sophomore tailback, little halfback draw. And Cass Tech hurrying up to the line with a big third down here.
Third down, 5. 5-step drop. Pressure coming on Tabron, and he's going down. Josh Atiamo had the initial pressure, and Hunter Stokes finished the job.
Great job there by Catholic Central, just putting pressure in the young quarterback's face and saying, hey, go and navigate the pressure, make a throw right here. You're going to see Julian Taylor try to get a block, but doesn't really get a good enough block on Atiamo, and Atiamo was able to flush Tabron right into the hands of Hunter Stokes, and Catholic Central with a huge third down sack there and really putting the pressure here on Cass Tech late in this second quarter.
Nobody's calling timeout, by the way. The play clock's at 5. Tabron's still on the field, and Marvin Rushing ends up burning a timeout. Cass Tech's about to get the ball to start the second half.
Their second of the half.
And it's almost like both teams stared at each other and went, okay, let's essentially take this thing into the second half. There's still 8 seconds, but neither team called a timeout.
You got to imagine that Coach Marv Rushing was thinking, you know, let this clock wind down. Let's see if we can get a big play here on 4th, and maybe we'll call a timeout if we get a conversion. If not, essentially it turns into a punt. But then again, too, thinking about that, if you're going to approach it like that, why not save a couple more seconds for if you do get that first down? Put a little bit of confidence into your defense, saying, hey, even if we don't, we trust our guys that we're not going to give a big play with a few seconds to a Catholic Central offense. But interesting few seconds there in the time management. Wondered if there was some type of boost to sideline. Hey, let's do this. Hey, I don't want to do this. I don't like the look. See what they come out with here and see what Coach Marv Rushing decides to do.
Look, we got a long way to go. And Cass Tech is equipped as anybody in Michigan to rally back in the second half. But remember what we said at the start of the game? Cass Tech, in the last 3 state championship games here at Ford Field against the Shamrocks, has beaten Catholic Central by a combined score of 134-54. At the very least, if Catholic Central can get this to the locker room up by 2 scores, The Demons aren't quite exercised yet, but they're starting to find their way out of the room. Offense on the field for Cass Tech, 4th down 12. Tabron's got the snap. He's thrown over the middle. Sadler's got the ball, and Corey Sadler is darn close to the 1st down. But he doesn't have it. He's short by a yard. And that'll take us to halftime. That look you see on Corey Sadler's face right now is the look of every person rooting for Cass Tech. We're not used to seeing this. Justin Sasante Shamrocks against a program that has had their number since they beat them for the state championship in 2011. The Shamrocks are taking the fight to Cass Tech right now. Down to the field we go. Lexi Ayala standing by with Justin Sasante.
Yeah, just got to keep playing assignment football. We're still making some mistakes. We have to be able to make sure we finish on offense, make sure we continue to tackle on defense. We're playing well, but we need to play better. We're capable of playing better football.
Coach, on the offensive end, you've tried a couple of those Hail Mary type passes, just quite couldn't execute. How do you get that one to go?
Yeah, I think just keep doing what we do, run the football, make sure that we continue to work our intermediate routes and see what happens here from the second half. Yeah.
Coach Sasante, good luck. Thank you for the second half.
Justin Sasante was actually one of us. A couple of years ago, he was calling these state championships in this same broadcast booth. Back down in the field, coaching at the place he loves, and he's 24 minutes away from getting the 11th state championship banner hung in the gym at Catholic Central. 13-0 Shamrocks over Cass Tech at the break. 1 half to go at least in the Michigan high school football season, and we still got to crown a Division I state champion. Another touchback. Ty Goddard has showed off that strong right leg so far tonight. All right, we heard Coach Rushing talking with Lexi coming out of the locker room at halftime. They want to get that run game established. And Lord knows they've still got the time to do it. We still got the second half to go.
Absolutely. They're going to have to rely and lean on guys like Khalif Canty, 55 left tackle. He's 6'5", 300 pounds. He's got just as much size and just as much versatility as his D lineman for Catholic Central. 55, Khalif Canty's committed to Mizzou. Expect some of these runs to go to the left side. They got to lean on their big guys and the guys that have done it. He's been a 4-year starter for this Cass Tech offense. Look for Khalif Canty on that left side to lead the way in the run game. Damari Hendricks is the back who starts this third quarter. Taylor Thomas, the motioning back. They give it to Hendricks, and he's got room. Damari Hendricks into the open field. And if that tackle isn't made in the secondary by Josh Atiamo, Hendricks may still be running. Yeah, Atiamo with a really great open field tackle because, again, Damari Hendricks, smaller running back, but watch how he's able to fit and navigate behind the line of scrimmage. I mean, he's hitting the hole with full speed, and by the time guys are getting on their guys, Marquel Evans, number 19, with a great pancake block downfield. And just as we said, run behind the left side, find success. Khalif Canty, young man, keep leading the way. Strong start to the second half for Cass Tech. One of their best plays of the night. Play fake. Tabron throw incomplete. Tried to throw it into traffic to Sadler, and he got smacked in the secondary. Well, Tabron, just a little RPO action. That's a backside inside read where he's reading that backside safety or that backside inside linebacker. If they bite down on the run, he's going to throw it right over their head. That time the safety was able to come over top. I believe that was 23, Beckett Glenn. The 6'1", 195-pound senior was able to get in there and effect the throw. Beckett has had the unenviable task of replacing Jaden Pyden, last year's Whalen Award winner at CC. Give to Hendricks, and room again. Hendricks pushed back as he got across the 45-yard line to the 46. Cole DeVukai was the man who wrapped him up. Makes it a much more manageable third down, though, for Cass Tech. For us non-CC guys, Evan, is the Whalen Award, is that the MVP award for the team? The Whalen Award is given to the best student athlete at Catholic Central every single year. Oh, that's awesome. That's a high honor. And had the opportunity to call some of Jaden Pyden's games and hear what Coach Asante said about him. Said he might be one of the best players to ever come through Catholic Central. That's high regard from the head coach, Justin Sasante. Tabron's throwing. Third down 4. Catch
Griggs close to that first down. The initial spot right at midfield, and it should be Cass Tech first down.
Right there, they just give Donald Tabron an easy concept. That's called a spot concept. You're going to get a corner route with a sit and a flat route. All you got to do is read that flat defender. Does he go out with the flat? If so, yes, put it on Mylan Griggs. Donald Tabron able to find a little bit of rhythm there, and Mylan Griggs going to have a big second half here. As Corey Sadler's kind of been washed away by this Catholic Central coverage team, and Mylan Griggs there able to move the chains.
Ball came out, but he was down. Taylor back in at running back, and they give it to the big sophomore. Julian Taylor dragging some Shamrocks near the 40-yard line to the 42. This looks like the Cass Tech offense we've seen all season to start the third quarter.
Yeah, powerful, methodical, and balanced, right? A little bit of both, whether that's run, pass, RPO. Giving Donald Tabron a few things to work with, but also just keeping it simple for the young sophomore quarterback. So it's so easy to try to put a lot on a young quarterback's plate, especially down 13. A lot of teams want to try to throw. And then Cass Tech says, we're going to keep running the football, give them easy, intermediate throws, and Donald Tabron's got his team across midfield.
That was just the 4th carry of the night for Taylor. This is his 5th carry. And it's first down, Cass Tech. You know, Grant, I think the thing people get confused, right, is they see Cass Tech and all of these superstars on the outside, but at their core, they are a physical, punch-you-in-the-mouth football team.
They are, and I've had the opportunity to get to know and play alongside, their assistant head coach and offensive line coach, Dave Dawson. Played with him at the University of Michigan, and he is the epitome of hard-nosed, gritty, grind, go and move you against your will, and that's what he's instilling in the offensive line. And gotta imagine he got in those guys' ears at halftime, trying to motivate the group, and Cleve Canty and company have come out strong here on this drive.
Play fake Taylor. Tabron hit as he threw, and it's a pick! Sadler was wide open, but the pressure forced the pick. Beckett Glenn got the INT, and Catholic Central's D makes the first big play of the second half.
Just when it looked like Cass Tech was moving the ball with some efficiency, understanding the defense, the pressure on the quarterback is what affects the throw. I believe was that Josh Ademo? Oh my goodness, great pressure. Donald Tabron doesn't see the blind side. Rush, throws the ball up and gets affected. And Beckett Glenn coming down with the ball, the center fielder, free safety, able to flip this game on its head with the first turnover of the game.
And now it's Catholic Central football at the 37. A score here, and it's danger time for the defending state champions. Give Cedric Williams hopping over one guy who fell down, and he hurdles his way to the 40-yard line.
Just Jack Janda on that play right there, just inserting himself into the A-B gap, and he met a linebacker in the hole and moved him against his will, allowing Cedric Williams to find some green space there.
Colin Sumter was the man slow to get up, and now we have another technician down. That's number 13, Pierre Johnson. It's a young, talented Cass Tech team. Pierre Johnson, the guy down, one of the top freshmen in Michigan. He's got a couple of picks and a pick 6 this season.
Hopefully he's okay.
While we have a minute, let's go down to the sidelines in Lexi.
After talking to Detroit Catholic Central's head coach, Justin Sassante, I asked him who's his dark horse player that he's expecting to have a breakout game in the state finals. He said it's going to be our safety, Beckett Glenn. He said he's our most dependable on defense. He's been tremendous the way that he comes down and fills. And he's had to fill in for one of the best to ever play here as safety and has stepped in seamlessly after that interception. Evan?
You know, he didn't just step in for anybody, Alexi. We've talked about everything that Jaden Pyden did at Catholic Central. He's gone on to play football and baseball at, of all places, Army. No disrespect to other schools, but trying to play 2 sports at a place like Army, where they expect so much of you, that's pretty remarkable for someone like Jaden Pyden, and pretty remarkable a guy like Beckett Glenn who can step in for him. And oh, by the way, just made maybe the biggest play of the state championship game.
Yeah, that is such an impressive feat there. Being a multi-sport athlete at Army, and it looks like Pierre Johnson was able to get up. The cart was coming out, but thankfully he was able to get up. Looks like he was shaking his hand. But yeah, Evan, to your note, I mean, that is such an accomplishment. Two-sport athlete at Army with the commitment that they have to the service. It just goes to show what kind of men Catholic Central is breeding over there.
Reverse Samson Gash. Waiting for blocks that didn't really come, but Samson makes magic anyway. There was nowhere for him to go, and he still got the first down.
Nowhere. I mean, there was outside contain, there was head up contain, and there was inside contain. And I'm thinking maybe a yard, maybe two, and I shouldn't have doubted the MSU commit Samson Gash, because watch this, just be able to cut back, slow some feet up, and then just shimmy through the hole. And C.J. Sadler in on that tackle, showing a little aggression. This would be a perfect time for one of the C.J. Sadler's big defensive plays, as Cass Tech needs just about anything to go their way right now.
Already 4 minutes gone in this third quarter. Back to Cedric Williams. Got away from one, and then the rest of the Cass Tech defense came to get him with a very late flag thrown from the back judge.
Looks like CJ's arguing a little bit.
Jason Peters, that back judge, already said it's personal foul on Cass Tech.
Again, it may be the Samson-CJ battle, and what's going on in between the whistle and
personal
CJ.
Foul, defense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
Looks like CJ got caught up with that, and so much of this game is about being able to control your emotions, stay in the moment. But when you're in a game of this magnitude, you find yourself down, and it just seems like the hole keeps getting bigger and bigger. Sometimes you make some bonehead mistakes, and right there, C.J. Sadler inflicts a wound on his Cass Tech defense.
That's the 5th penalty tonight on a Cass Tech team that is usually extremely buttoned up. First down 10, Catholic Central after that penalty at the 37-yard line of the Technicians. Banta dropping. Banta throwing deep. And he got him again! Gideon Gash to Banta, the most lethal combination in Detroit on the last Sunday night in November.
We're talking about Samson Gash. We highlighted him in the open, and Gideon Gash must have heard that, because he wanted his name in the paper tonight, and that's his second deep ball. Beats the coverage again, beats double coverage, gets the pass to safety, able to corral that in for the touchdown. And got to give credit to Duke Banta laying that ball out there where no one else could get it besides Gideon Gash. Catholic Central rolling here in the third quarter.
One of the only things that's gone wrong for them tonight was a blocked extra point on the first one, and now more flags here.
Full start, offense. 5-yard penalty, we'll retry.
That was such a great play there. Gideon Gash, sometimes those receivers will slow down just because you see two guys in front of you. You think, I'm not going to get the ball. I'm going to slow down, check out what the quarterback's doing. Gideon Gash trusted it the whole way. Duke Banta saw it the same way. Emory Jones playing flat-footed in the secondary. Gideon Gash exposed that. And that height advantage is really working out. His ability to reach, catch those footballs. Gideon Gash, man, put him on Mr. Football watch list here for next year.
Goddard's extra point is true. You know, the crazy thing about Gideon Gash is, and we talked about this a little bit earlier, number 11 in the Valiant Blue and Peerless White, he's known as a defensive back. Justin Sasante compared him to Sauce Gardner when he was coaching him in high school. He thinks Gideon's got an incredibly bright future as a defensive back. He's been the MVP of the state championship game on offense.
He has, and you know, I guess it's a blessing. You know, your ability to affect the game in both ways. And right here, watch this ball, this range drop right over number 24, Emory Jones' head, and Gideon Gash. And Coach Asante, smart man, allowing Gideon Gash to play both ways, and you see exactly why.
We go back down to Lexi on the sidelines.
Hello? Former NFL fullback and coach Samuel Lee Gash is the father of both Samson and Gideon Gash, who are on Detroit Catholic Central. Gideon with the touchdown right there from the QB Banta. The Gash brothers grew up with actually 5 brothers in the house. They know how to prepare their body, how to go to work every day. Coach Sasante said they are straight dogs. People poke the bear on us all the time. We never back down. Samson and Gideon, double trouble. Evan?
And also important to note that their mom was an outstanding athlete as well. All those gashes hit what you like to call the genetic jackpot.
And you want to know why Gideon's playing cornerback and Sasante sees a great future? It's because there's a lot of money to be made as a 6'4" cornerback. I mean, that is a rare frame. And I don't blame him one bit for saying that, hey, he sees a bright future in Gideon Gash at that cornerback position.
Feels like it's starting to get late early for Cass Tech. This is about to be their biggest drive of the season, down 3 scores in the state championship game. Corey Sadler fields at the 3. The future Carolina Tar Heel coming left. Long way to go. Corey Sadler made something out of what looked like nothing. That is one of the more impressive 25-yard kickoff returns you will ever see.
He just makes yards out of nothing, man.
Another late flag, too, that was thrown at the end of this play near the Cass Tech sideline.
Cass Tech can't afford to go backwards.
27-yard line, penalty flag on the field.
The initial signal is this penalty's on Catholic Central.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, kicking team, 15 yards from the end of the run, first down.
And when you're up by 20 points in a state championship game against the defending state champions, that is the last thing the Catholic Central coaching staff wants to see.
That one's going to eat at Sasante. He's going to get on his guys and tell them to lock in. This game is nowhere from over with the type of talent that Cass Tech has, with the field position they've now been granted. It's time for an explosive play from the technicians in order to get back into this one.
An offense that scores 47 points per game hasn't scored yet tonight. Give Damari Hendricks. He has run hard to start this second half. Another solid gain of 6 on first down.
Talking with Coach Sasante this week, I asked him, you know, really skilled quarterback in Tabron, and we know what C.J. Sadler's capable of. You know, he said we're a one-high defense, meaning one-high safety, which means there's going to be a corner and a corner covering those receivers. And I asked him, hey, is there any adjustments you're going to make for this explosive attack? And he said, yeah, we might do some different coverage shells, meaning they may go cover 2, which allows another safety in the back of the picture. But they've been one high all day, and they've been trusting their corners, and their corners have been delivering here today for Catholic Central.
Tabron throw. Sadler. Did he keep those feet in bounds? He did. I mean, that is just magician-level stuff from Sadler. How did he do that?
He's so smooth, man. The way that you can just tell sometimes by the way a guy runs, the way he's able just to keep his feet in bounds and a light toe tap from that right foot. When you get off coverage here, I think they should just try to find him in any way, form, or fashion. Ignore the deep ball. Gideon Gash is all over top of it. Find ways to work C.J. Sadler underneath. Expect some type of screen coming soon, as that's where they find their big bread and butter at.
Tabron keeps for the first time. And what a hit! Luka Genrich! Hello!
Luka Genrich flying from that cornerback spot, licking his chops. The young quarterback, Donald Tabron, trying to capture the edge. And when you get an opportunity to get a nice hit on a quarterback, you take it. And right here, he just hits him right in the thigh board and takes away his legs and his ability to run. And Luka Genrich coming up with some hostility on that tackle. Good job by the cornerback, number 2, Luka Genrich.
That is a Catholic Central family through and through. Gio, Nico, Marco, and Luca are all former Shamrocks. Sadler, the man in motion. Tabron given time. And he finds an open man. That is Sadler again. Reaching for that line to gain. And he's darn close, as he just pulled an AI over Tyron Liu and stepped over a Shamrock defender.
You feel a little frustration coming out of C.J. Sadler, but they're finding different ways to scheme him open. Right there, they move him in motion, trying to get him on a different guy, give him leverage for that out route. They do just that. He's able to catch that ball on number 22, the outside linebacker, Connor Ryan. They're moving that football. Only a yard to get here. This is where Cass Tech cannot afford to shoot themselves in the foot or go backwards. Got to keep the ball moving forwards.
Third down, long one. Hendricks has enough. Number 2 in green and white. That's been their best offensive weapon here in the second half.
Yeah, he's had some good runs. He's been able to break through the line of scrimmage, get to that second and third level. Provides a little bit more of a spark as far as speed and space versus your power back in Julian Taylor, who's more of your bruiser, run between the tackles. And looks like DeMar Hendricks is going to come out, and I think Julian Taylor will step in.
Clock's starting to become a factor here for Cass Tech. We are coming up on 5.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. This is one of their best drives of the night at Catholic Central's 35. Tabron to throw. Over the middle. It's caught. And again, Luka Genrich just flying up from the secondary. He's a man possessed.
He is. And one of the benefits of playing zone coverage is being able to see those crossing routes. They try to run a mesh concept here where Victor Polk is running one way, trying to mesh for number 19. I believe that's Markel Evans. And right there, Luka Genrich coming from that corner spot, stays home, sees everything coming to him, drives the football in. Again, another tackle in space. Big play there by number 2, Luka Genrich.
He had a pivotal interception in that semifinal win over East Kentwood last week. Tabron to throw again. He's taking a deep shot again. And this time he's got his guy. Peyton Robinson makes the catch, and the defending state champs will not go quietly into the night.
What do we say, Evan? Someone's going to have to step up. They have Corey Sadler's number on the deep ball. Who else would it be? Peyton Robinson coming through, the young freshman saying, I can make a play on the big stage. Go ahead and give me an opportunity, coach. Donald Tabron throws the ball out there, gives this guy an opportunity. And the young freshman, number 10, Peyton Robinson, coming down with Cass Tech's first score of the game at a much-needed time here in the third quarter.
Cass Tech responds. If there's anything that Catholic Central has not liked about their season, Justin Sassante thinks they don't play well in second halves. You are able to challenge in the Michigan High School Football Finals. You got to call a timeout to challenge, and Justin Sassante may have just called timeout to challenge that touchdown. Let's get another look.
Let's see here. Murphy's challenge is probably the catch, but also could he have been short of the goal line on this catch? That's a tough angle there. Could very well be short. Looks like a catch to me, Evan.
I think he nailed it first time. It looks like on first glance a catch, but he may be down at the 1 yard line.
Yeah, we should get a better look here on this sideline profile. Yep, I think he's going to be short. But then again, they have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he was. And sometimes, you know, those replays and the officials, they call on the field sometimes stand. So we'll see what they decide here, Evan.
We've already seen a couple of pivotal calls overturned. We saw in the Division IV championship game yesterday, Divine Child and Unity Christian both challenged successfully.
Yeah. Do you like the challenge here, Evan?
You know, part of what makes me think here, Grant, is we're about to get another look at the play. This is so close
After
that it may be tough to overturn.
The runner's down at the half-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10.
The other thought to it is, okay, they're on the half-yard line. Do I want to risk losing a timeout I may need later if I'm Justin Sassante? But we see this all the time in football. I mean, the touchdown doesn't stand, and it happens all the time. Teams end up having goal line stands. If you're Catholic Central, at least make Cass Tech earn it. And this touchdown is taken off the board for Robinson.
And if they get a stop here, they have 4 tries to get this in the end zone. And not only does it draw more time off the clock, Cass Tech could be stopped. And that would be a great challenge here by Justin Sassante. Julian Taylor expected to be in the game here, and He is. C.J. Sadler lined up at the deepest tailback. Will they try to get the Speedster on the perimeter, Evan?
There's a former Wolverine standing to my right. He likes this formation. Taylor does get into the end zone. And after all that, it's still Cass Tech touchdown.
They do a little window dressing there, Evan, try to get the defense to flow with CJ. They send him out on a motion, and they just ram Julian Taylor through the middle, and it's going to be hard to stop number 7 when he's running with a full head of steam. 5'10", 250 pounds, the sophomore, able to find a great job, a great block by Khalif Canty, able to hold his guy tight, run right off of Khalif Canty's behind. Number 55, Khalif Canty, committed to Mizzou.
That's the 20th touchdown of the season for Julian Taylor. You're about to hear that name a lot the next couple of years if you're a Michigan high school football fan. Garza's extra point is through, and it's 20-7.
Cass Tech, I've seen them come from behind. First week of the season at the PKC, they faced the Toledo Central Catholic team that found themselves up 28-7. Coming out of the second half, Donald J. Brown was able to find the way through the air and got his guys rallied back. Really good response there by Cass Tech. There's still a decent amount of time left, but it's going to be up to their defense now to add on to this comeback.
Cass Tech's been running over everybody in the playoffs, now trying to rally back and win another state championship. Before the kick, we go downstairs to Lexington.
Julian Taylor, the sophomore running back that just scored that touchdown, was lucky enough to get a single-digit number on the squad. To wear a single-digit number at Detroit Cass Tech, it's a privilege and a note to the players' dedication and impact to the program. One of the only other players that have earned that honor as an underclassman was Corey Sadler, of course, the North Carolina commit. So big time, big play. Evan?
It's remarkable, Lexi, the amount of talent that has come out of Cass Tech. Grant, you almost don't want to name any Cass Tech alums because you'll remember you've forgotten like 7 or 8 of them. You watch a football game on Saturdays, you watch a football game on Sundays, there's probably a Green Guy alum playing in that football game.
Absolutely, and I still to this day, not to single anybody out, but I still say that the hardest guy I've ever had to go against as far as one-on-one cornerback versus receiver, it's been Jordan Lewis. Now plays for the Jacksonville Jaguars. He was like a blanket.
That's caught and then falling down. Cam Swearingen falls down for Catholic Central, so their offense is going to have a long way to go here. There may not be a prouder Cass Tech alum than Jordan Lewis. Big Sean's up there, but Jordan Lewis, very, very proud too. There is a very high chance that Jordan Lewis is currently listening to you and I talk, Grant Perry.
Absolutely. You know, I had the opportunity to play against him while I was at Brother Rice in Cass Tech, along with one of Cass Tech's assistant coaches, Dave Dawson. There was an opportunity where Dave Dawson was pulling around. I was at a nickel corner, and he was pulling to come block me, and boy, did I get out of the way quickly, Evan. I did not want to see Dave Dawson in that hole, and now he's on the sideline coaching up the O-line, assistant head coach, and trying to get his boys back into this ballgame.
Grant, you made a business decision, and I respect it.
That's what they call it.
Play fake to Williams. Banta long roll. He got away from that pressure coming from behind and turns a negative into a positive. Darius Summers III was coming from behind, but Banta wasn't phased.
No, not at all. And Banta showing some wheels, the junior quarterback. Great frame on him, 6'4", but showing that he can run with the rest of them right here, getting around the perimeter, getting to the edge, making it a positive gain for these Shamrocks.
I don't mean this as a negative toward Duke Banta, but he's one of those guys who's deceptively fast.
I would say the same thing. 6'4", great stride, long legs.
Clock did stop because he went out of bounds. Gain of 5 on first down. Pitch to Samson Gash, and it didn't fool Cass Tech all that much. Did gain 3 to set up 3rd down 2.
It's all about run fits. It's all about fitting responsibly in the run game. And right there, Colin Sumter was able to set the edge outside, which forced Samson Gash inside to the help, bringing up a 3rd down. Right here, if number 4 doesn't set the edge, this thing's hitting outside, and Samson Gash is running till the cows come home. So great job there by Colin Sumter, giving his defense a 3rd down opportunity here.
Back to the old school tight T for CC. the formation that they ran on their way to 10 state championships. That looked like 24 counter, and it moves the sticks. Cam Swearingen keeps the drive alive.
Interior three on the offensive line. Azuka, left guard, number 75. Austin Woodlock, 56, the center, and 54, Ryan Richardson. Just double team 44 right off the football, allowing running back there, Cam Swearingen, get that first down and dive right over the pile. Great job there. When in doubt, Coach Justin Sassante is going to put the trust in the big, meaty, gritty O-lineman up front, and they get it done for him right there.
For now, they're staying in that power look. Somewhere Nico Palizzetti smiles. Joshua Peters, who scored a touchdown earlier in the ball game, keeps that pile moving. Oh, how about this one? Clip that thing up and send it to Anthony Capatina. The last time Catholic Central won a state championship, that's what it looked like.
Talk about driving those legs, Evan, not giving up until that whistle's blown. Cass Tech's got to wrap up. They got a tackle right here. Really good job. I believe that was 54. Ryan Richardson driving his guy off the ball with some bad intentions. And then great run there. Downhill, aggressive, breaking tackles. Josh Peters with the aggressive attack. Evan, they're going to go 4-minute mode here. They're going to stay in this old school 3-back set, 2 tight ends, and they're going to just impose their will this drive, Evan.
Another give coming to the left, and a big-time hole. Cam Swearingen doing his best Derek Brooks impression, and Catholic Central is going old school on their biggest drive of the night.
Yeah, talk about tapping into your roots. I'm sure Coach Mack is smiling right now, saying, get back to it, stay in there, and let it ride, man, because right now, hat on hat, running the football, Cam Swearingen with a great run to the perimeter, great blocking up front. Jack Janda able to seal the edge, and Catholic Central tapping into their old ways and finding ways to burn clock and inch towards this finish line.
You know, Justin Sassante said, we're still CC. We still want to run the ball. It just looks different than the way it used to. This is the way it used to. That's 35 wham for Jalen Mott-Lewis. And Cass Tech, it sure looks like they weren't prepared for this.
Nope, I don't think they were. And right now, they're just not adjusting. And it's got to be defeating just 3 running backs, 2 tight ends. We call that 32 personnel. And right now, they are just having their way up front. And why not? When the game is on the line, you got Benny Azuka, Austin Woodlock, Ryan Richardson, a bunch of these juniors and seniors paving the way up front. Rely on those guys and keep the ball moving forward. It's exactly what they're doing, and they're finding a lot of success in between the tackles.
Turn and give. Same play. Running the wham again with Mott-Lewis. And it's first down for Catholic Central. Not only are they churning up a bunch of clock on this drive, but with all the power backs in the game, both Gash brothers have to be on the field. They can take a rest right now.
Getting a rest and just saying, hey, we're going to run the football. We're going to let you know we're going to run the football. And wouldn't be surprised here if they go a little play action eventually and try to catch Cass Tech sleeping. Run, lull you to sleep, and then slip maybe Jack Janda down the seam. He's got a couple of touchdowns this year. A very reliable target at 6'6", number 44.
Got to snap it one more time in the third quarter. Banta under center. Give left. Swearingen 4-1. And that should take us to the fourth quarter. Every good coach will tell you, in a big game, I got to have a wrinkle. I got to have something new. Well, down the stretch, as Catholic Central tries to salt away their 11th state championship, what's old is new. They're back to the tight tee. They're running the wham again. And they're 12 minutes away from yet another state championship coming back to Catholic Central.
With Detroit Catholic Central finding some firepower on their offensive end, head coach Justin Sassante said it's in thanks to his assistant coach, Cody Patton, who's very smart, very strategic, a chess player type coach. They pride themselves on their scout from Coach Patton. And then at the end of the day, they just give their playmakers the ball. They don't need to overcomplicate it. They're still playing Shamrock football at the end of the day.
Lexi, this is exactly what we're watching from Catholic Central. Is Joshua Peters, another solid gain. Third down medium coming up for Catholic Central. Up by 2 scores in the state championship game. They have gone back to the offense that was their bread and butter for decades, the tight T. And right now they are grinding their way down the field as they try to salt away their 11th state championship. Banta gives, Swearingen runs, and he's not close as LaMarcus Army made the tackle. This is within Ty Goddard's field goal range, but with Samson Gash coming back on the field, I don't think Catholic Central's trying to field goal.
I don't think so at all. Samson Gash coming on the field, bringing some speed. Duke Banta looks like he's coming off, so it looks like we're going to hit a little bit of a wildcat package. Josh Peters expected to be in there at the quarterback position as he's been running that near the goal line, and again here on short yardage for the Shamrocks on 4th down.
Opening stages, 4th quarter, and Catholic Central lined up to go for it. Josh Peters in the single wing, faking to Gash. Joshua Peters stacked up, and he does not have the first down.
And Evan, that was a must stop for Cass Tech. I mean, talk about needing to get a stop, needing to get Donald Tabron and company the ball back. We're approaching the 10-minute mark here in the 4th quarter. And right here, you're going to see the pull by Benny Azuka. And right there, Josh Peters, a little bit more patience to be able to cut inside of Azuka. May have given an opportunity to get a few more yards, but great job by the Cass Tech defense of stringing out that play and being aggressive. And right now, Cass Tech has to put something on the board in order to get this to a 1-score game with just under 11 minutes remaining.
Tabron in the offense back on the field with 10:23 to go in the 4th. Tabron lost the football. Donald Tabron couldn't pick up the football. Catholic Central has the football.
Wow, Evan. They try to get Donald Tabron on the perimeter. I believe it was a quarterback design run. He pulls it, and then you got to give all the credit to number 14, Caden Gonzalez. They didn't make the tackle, but was able to get one hand on Donald Tabron, which affected the mesh. Donald Tabron then loses the football, tries to scoop it versus just getting on it, not realizing that Catholic Central Shamrocks were closing in on that football, and they just overpower him for it. It looks like Sasante right back to where he was started on that last drive, and Catholic Central again right in the driving seat with an opportunity to really slowly put this door closed late in this 4th quarter.
That Shamrock faithful has been waiting for this for almost a decade. They haven't been here since 2016. They haven't won a state championship since 2009. And if they get a touchdown here, they're that much closer.
Will they try to hit Sampson up top, one-on-one versus C.J. Sadler? Possible opportunity for a one-on-one ball.
On the ground, Cedric Williams, number 26, muscling his way inside the 5-yard line to the 3.
Good to see Cedric Williams back in. I was wondering, did Cedric Williams not get the invitation to the tight T? I guess it's just a big, gritty linebacker type of position back there. When you go tight T, you want your hard hitters running the football, and Cedric Williams able to get back in the rotation and pick up some good yardage there. It looks like the Shamrocks are just about 3 yards out from going up 3 scores.
Cass Tech is equipped to come back from darn near any deficit at any time, but if they fall down 3 scores, 9 minutes to go, even for them, that's a tough ask. 2nd down, goal. Gives Cedric Williams. Cedric Williams isn't in yet. He's down to the 1.
Good fight up front from that Cass Tech D-line, able to get some penetration, able to affect Cedric Williams in the backfield. And right here, that was Martez, number 44, for that defense. Martez Livingston to get a hand on him and affect the path of the ball carrier. Evan, I think we have the old tight T coming in line here. Will it be number 4? Will it be Josh Peters? Will it be 24? Who will touch the rock? We shall find out.
And before this all-important 3rd and goal, the officials have called a timeout of the field.
Water. Timeout for injury.
We got a technician injured in the end zone. It's Marquell Evans Jr. who's down. It feels like, Grant, in many ways, the entire Michigan high school football season at the Division I level has led to this. At the start of the season, Cass Tech, Catholic Central, by pretty much everybody's account, were 1-2, and both found their way here. And when you look at the schedule, quite frankly, there weren't a ton of tests for either team. Cass Tech in week 1 had to survive Toledo Central Catholic. Then they had to survive King twice, including here inside Ford Field in the PSL championship game. One of the few times Catholic Central was tested against a team from the state of Michigan was in the regional final against Clarkston, where they went on the road and they were down. Going into the second quarter, down 7-0, and Clarkston had the football. But, you know, Justin Sassante said in our program, we say this thing where we know when to turn it on. We know sometimes where there's a dimmer and sometimes we turn it on. And we kind of felt like Clarkston used up all their juice early in the game. And then Catholic Central ended up rolling and winning the game 42-13. They are giving teams a taste of their own medicine all year long. Back to the tight T. 3rd down goal from the 1.
From Catholic Central, I'm running right behind left guard Benny Azuka, number 75, the 300-pounder.
That's where they're going, but Mont Lewis was brought down in the backfield by Corey Sadler. That time the Lamb did lose yardage.
I don't even know how Corey Sadler got back there. He's a defensive back, but he shot the hole like he was at the linebacker position. Corey Sadler saying, I can make some tackles too when it matters, and looks like Coach Sassante going to bring out the field goal unit. Corey Sadler able just to avoid and navigate those old linemen, understanding that, hey, this run's probably going to go inside with just a yard to obtain. Corey Sadler able to force a field goal for this Cass Tech defense.
Yeah, Catholic Central 4th and goal from the 4. Maybe too far to go for it. So Goddard's on. A little bit of a low snap, but a nice job to get the thing down. And the kick is good. Cam Swearingen gets the low snap down. And it's a 16-point game, but still a 2-score game.
Yeah, for Cass Tech, that drive and that stand still gives you life. Yes, look at the clock, there's just under 8 minutes. You still do have one of the most explosive players in all of the country in Corey Sadler. Got a young quarterback in Donald Tabron who's had some mistakes, but can throw the football. You just have to score with just enough time to give yourself another opportunity to get that ball back. A lot has to happen correctly here for Cass Tech, but this is far from over here, especially with the playmakers Cass Tech has. But Catholic Central also has the ability here to really shut this thing down and put themselves in that position to get up on that podium here pretty soon.
No matter what happens tonight, Cass Tech is still one of the most remarkable high school football programs, forget in the Midwest, but in the country. They come into tonight on a 23-game winning streak. They're the defending state champions in Division I. They've won 4 state championships since 2011. And the list of alumni, as Grant and I have named a couple of those guys already today, is staggering. But their list just flat of regular alumni is staggering. Diana Ross is a Cass Tech alum. Jack White, the guy who played the Thanksgiving halftime show here at Ford Field on Thursday, is a Cass Tech alum. There's this cool club. There was this cool clip during the semifinals where they were playing Seven Nation Army, and the Cass Tech sideline is jumping up and down going, hey man, that's Cass Tech. That's pretty cool.
That's awesome. I just learned that as well. I mean, that's a super fun fact about Jack White. Did not know he attended Cass Tech. The more you know, huh?
There's a non-zero chance that Jack White is watching and listening to us talk tonight. If he is, hello. I'd love concert tickets.
Me too.
Sadler wants a chance to return it, and he will. Corey Sadler is dancing with danger. And Corey Sadler had maybe the most impressive 19-yard kick return you'll ever see on that one before Cass Tech starts a pivotal drive. Let's go back downstairs to Lex.
I was on the sideline of Cass Tech's team, and it was head coach Marvin Rushing who was absolutely panicking when Catholic Central was on the line of scrimmage ready to score another touchdown. They were supposed to be in their eagle formation on the defensive end, and none of the guys were on the same page, so they had to get chewed out in the next huddle by Coach Rushing, making sure no more mental lapses on the defensive end. They can't afford it. Evan?
Well, Lex, they got to score here, and they got to get a 2-point conversion. Cass Tech's alive, but they need pixie dust. Tabron drop, Tabron throw, and it's just not there. And they get the flag they've been wanting all game as Sadler and Gideon Gash were locked up.
Well, let's take a look at this, Evan. We talked about how Catholic Central is a 1-high team. They shift to a 2-high team, cover 2. Gideon Gash playing that cloud flat to the top of the field on Corey Sadler.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense, 10 yards from the previous spot, results in a first down.
And as a cover 2 corner, exactly what Gideon Gash was, you're supposed to get hands on, you're supposed to be physical. There is a point downfield where you do have to let him have some yards and some room to run. But right there, they get drawn with a PI or holding, that is, and Cass Tech, free first down.
And also, in case you're wondering, no such thing in high school football in Michigan as an uncatchable ball when it comes to pass interference. Of course, that was a hold. Tabron with time, and it's incomplete. The time evaporated because Brandon Bartolucci put Tabron on his backside for Catholic Central.
The second half, as far as the pass game is gone, the pass rush is what's really gotten home for Catholic Central. There hasn't been a ton of sacks, but they've affected Tabron enough to the point where he's missing throws, he's fumbling the ball when he's running. Got to credit, again, Brandon Bartolucci, number 77, for getting back there and affecting the throw, because he sure did have a receiver open. Not for a huge gain, but for a completion. But not before Brandon Bartolucci got back there.
They'll sneak in a run to Taylor, and there is little to nothing there. Maybe a yard, that's it. And the worst thing here for Cass Tech is that gain of 1 is going to chew a lot of time off the clock.
Yeah, they try to run to that right side, but they run into the 6'3", 300-pound senior captain, Benny Azuka. And it's really hard to move a guy that's 300 pounds. Great job by number 75, holding your ground, forcing a 3rd down and long for Cass Tech.
They got to get to the 39-yard line here. Tabron dropping back. Tabron deep shot, and he's got Robinson. No, he doesn't. It's incomplete. Oh, what effort by the Catholic Central secondary. Connor Ryan knocked it away at the absolute last second.
Connor Ryan making up for that play that he gave up to Peyton Robinson earlier. They put Cass Tech on the 1-yard line. Peyton Robinson playing that outside linebacker position, which essentially turns into a nickel type of corner, soft corner in the pass game. And right there, he's running hip to hip, stride to stride. And Peyton Robinson able to get a hand in there and affect that throw at a very pivotal time for Catholic Central.
Well, Cass Tech is lined up to go for it. This is 4th down and 9. This could be your ball game. And we got a flag for delay of game.
And that's been the story with Donald Tabron, and covering his first game of the year, that was some of the issues that he ran into versus Toledo Central Catholic, was game management, time clock management, you know, to get his guys lined up. But only a sophomore, he's going to be able to learn from that, able to grow, and I guarantee you as his time progresses, he's going to have such a good grasp on that, especially making mistakes like that in the biggest moments. He's going to learn from that 100%. But right now, he's got to lock it in and try to help his team get down the field here on a huge 4th and 14.
This may be your ball game. Tabron on 4th down 14, evacuating the pocket. Donald Tabron's got a long ways to go. He's not even close. Luka Genrich escorted him out of bounds. And on a frustrating night for one of the top sophomore quarterbacks in America, he's off the football field again.
Justin Sasante has just done everything right to affect the quarterback just enough. Right here, down the pavement, tucks it and runs, but got to understand that game's on the line, 4th down, got to have it. There's no time to go out of bounds. There's no time to save clock. You either have to throw that ball up or you have to put your body on the line and get north and south and stay in bounds. And right there, Tabron, a couple of mistakes on that drive, and Cass Tech unfortunately turns it over in their own area.
Let's give a little bit of love, too, to 58 James Peters, who actually went to pick up Tabron after that hard hit.
I saw that on the sideline. Great sportsmanship. Tabron ran into the bleachers. Number 58 was able to help him up there. Good job there, FCC.
Banta gives to Williams. Cedric Williams got the edge. And then Colin Sumter got him down, but not before Cedric Williams gained a 1st down. CC's now playing 2 teams, Cass Tech and the Clock. This is the type of drive, if you're Catholic Central's offense, that all those off-season workouts, all those in-season practices, all the work he did is for this drive to win a state championship.
Absolutely, and it's the teams that can visualize and understand and take in that Coach Asante preaching that in August, in September, in July, when he's saying it comes down to this drive at this moment in Ford Field. Some guys and some players and some teams, they don't see it, they don't feel the vision. But you can tell this Catholic Central team felt it, and they're living it right now. And to have an opportunity to really live this moment of being in that moment that you worked so hard for, it's got to be an unreal feeling for these Catholic Central Shamrocks.
On the doorstep of their 11th state championship, and on the doorstep for a perfect weekend for the Catholic League, because Jackson Lumen Christi, Divine Child, and St. Mary's have already won. Gives Cedric Williams. He found the crack. Cedric Williams got to the outside. Cedric Williams! He was diving for that pylon, but he's not in yet. And 26 in Valiant Blue and Peerless White wants another crack at getting into the end zone.
You got to imagine Coach Asante wants to get a 3-score lead here. Great job by the right side of the line of scrimmage. That's 54. Ryan Richardson seal the block, and then look at number 26, Cedric Williams, absorbing the contact and just spinning off and trying to find that end zone. But coming up just short, putting Catholic Central right on the 1-yard line.
A team that's never beaten Cass Tech in a state championship game. They're 0 for 3. And Justin Sasante calls timeout here.
Timeout. Catholic Central. They're first of the half.
We were talking about this earlier. Justin Sasante came back to Catholic Central. He was working for an outfit called the Legacy Center in the suburbs of Detroit. He was coaching youth talent. He was still around the game. He was calling the high school championships here at Ford Field. But when the opportunity came back to Catholic Central to be the head coach, when Aaron Babbitt's the athletic director, afforded Justin Sasante the opportunity, Justin said, I guess this was God's plan all along. He credits Catholic Central with saving his life. Grew up in a tough area, almost flunked out of Catholic Central multiple times, but it led him to Grand Valley. It led him to collegiate football. It led him back home to be the head coach. And they are that close to putting a smile on those guys' faces from now until Christmas and beyond. First down goal. Do they feed Cedric Williams again? They do. And Cedric Williams leaning ahead. He wouldn't be denied. Cedric Williams, touchdown.
Just run a little outside zone here. An outside zone, the beautiful thing about it is you press it until you can't. Cedric Williams sees an opportunity to cut it back inside, spins off a tackle, and the young man, Cedric Williams, a senior, 5'11", 200-pound running back, all region this year. says, I'm not going to be denied. I want my name on that stat sheet. Finds himself in the end zone. And right there, Catholic Central takes a 3-score lead late in this fourth quarter.
Ty Goddard's back on to kick it through the uprights again. Got to wait for that first, as we actually have offsides on Cass Tech. Catholic Central, when faced with this all year.
Defense. Half of this is to the goal. Retry.
Every single time they've taken this penalty and gone for 2 because they believe in the tight T. They're doing it again.
Here they come. And any guesses on what number is going to get this time? I mean, it's such a unity group here. I mean, so many guys have touches on this team, and it's been such a collective effort from the backfield of the Shamrocks.
They will go back to the tight T. Banta will lean in. He'll turn and give to Cam Swearingen. And he is pushed back. He didn't get it. Man, that's a great fight for Cass Tech. Gavin Fernandez would not let him get into the end zone. And although this night has not gone the way that anyone rooting for Cass Tech thought it would, you know they're not going to quit here in this final 6 minutes and 24 seconds.
They're not going to quit, and that's just how they've been coached. That's how they've been brought up, and they're fighters. Fight through adversity, no matter what it is, whether it's on the football field or off. And the technicians, they have such a great team and a great camaraderie. They're going to fight to the end, and win, lose, or draw, Cass Tech's going to keep going.
Catholic Central 13-0. Catholic Central team that they say their toughest competition this year was a team from Ontario, Clarkson North. Their playoff run for the Shamrocks, they beat Heartland in round 1. They beat Brighton in the district final. They beat Clarkston in that regional final where they had to go on the road. And then last week was a really interesting matchup for Catholic Central in the semis, playing East Kentwood, a team coached by Ty Spencer, who was at King for forever, winning state championships for forever. And he's very close with Justin Sasante. Got the better of East Kentwood last week. And that defensive coordinator for Catholic Central, Joe Mack, against one of the state's very best offenses, has saved his best for last.
You can see Coach Sasante going over to Coach Mack there and getting fired up, saying, let's go, man, one more stop. And we get to put a ring on our finger. We get to bring the title back home to Catholic Central. I'd imagine that Catholic Central is going to be flying down on this kickoff with some vengeance.
Corey Sadler is not back deep on this return. Goddard kicks it deep, and the technicians will return it. Marquell Evans gets across the 20 to the 22. I mean, the stats tonight for Cass Tech, Donald Tabron, who's a brilliant quarterback. There will be much better days for him. 13 of 21 passing, 132 yards. Julian Taylor's only rushed it 8 times for 34 yards. Corey Sadler does have 5 catches for 70 yards, but remember, one of those catches was 35 yards, so the other 4 for 35 yards. The weapons that Cass Tech has, and they are plentiful, have been nullified by the Shamrock defense tonight. Tabron to throw again. And Griggs along that sideline did make the catch. Grant, your cousin's talented.
He is, and he's a young cat, and he's battled through injury, and he's really now just getting the chance to shine. And I'd imagine that when C.J. Sadler takes off for UNC, you see here Mylan Griggs working the toes on the sideline, getting 2 down just so they know it's real. And I'd imagine when C.J. takes off for the next level here next year, guys like Mylan Griggs and Peyton Robinson will be charged with leading the task.
Tabron throw, Sadler catch, that's first down. Oh boy, his helmet came off. Gash ripped his helmet off, so that kills the play. That's one way to get Corey Sadler.
Yeah, a little FaceTime there. Get your face on the camera, and yeah, if you can't tackle him, take his helmet off because the rest will stop it dead right here. Now Tabron working through his progression, finding Sadler, working against Gideon Gash. Gideon Gash not giving up, working hard through the tackle, and C.J. Sadler still trying to find a way to get a few yards here as this clock winds down.
Looked like Jason Witten on that old school clip for the Cowboys, running without his helmet on. Tabron throw, incomplete. Hoping for Evans on the wheel route, and they throw a flag on Connor Wright.
I don't know about that one, Evan. We'll have to see it on the replay here, but it looked like Connor Ryan had great coverage over top, was sitting there, what we call a catch technique, and was able just to give the receiver a little shove to the sideline, nothing major, and you can see why the Catholic Central sideline is not loving this.
15 yards from the previous spot, results in a first down.
Marvin Rushing's been wanting those calls all day, and Justin Sassante says, boys, I don't think that was the right call.
Yeah, and you're going to see here at the bottom screen, the guy that's wheeling down and wheeling up. This is where the penalty is going to occur, and somewhere right in that region is where they say the PI is, and we're allowed to disagree with the refs, and I'm going to disagree with them on that one. I think that was great coverage over top by number 22, Connor Ryan, who, let me add, since that catch on the one he's given up, he's been fantastic in coverage tonight.
Tabron with time. Tabron's throwing a home run ball, and Sadler had it knocked away. Gideon Gash making like Mutombo with the swat.
Sadler's helmet comes off again. He's got to leave the field, and man, when you got Beckett Glenn at 6'1", playing free safety, center fielder in this one-high defense, and you got Gideon Gash on the outside covering C.J. Sadler, you just make a C.J. Sadler sandwich. You allow him not to catch the ball, and you can see that 6'4" frame and why teams all over the country want that Gideon Gash, and they can't have him just yet. He's got one more year at Catholic Central. But Beckett Glenn's a senior back there, able to get in there and get a good hit on C.J. Sadler. That secondary has been fantastic this afternoon.
And Sadler hobbling off the field. He's bound for North Carolina, and Bill Belichick said he wanted to go to Carolina because I want to play for the greatest football coach of all time. Tonight, he has been bottled up. Deep shot Griggs. They got him. Mylan Griggs has had a big year Ford Field, and down by 22, he's hooting and hollering.
He's letting them know, hey, I'm here. We'll see each other again. I'm a young cat. Sophomore Mylan Griggs doing a great job of body control, but also late hands here. Donald Tabron's going to put this towards the sideline. He's locked in on Mylan the whole time. Mylan able to control his body. Great ball by Tabron right over number 2, Luka Genrich.
Hey, he got the 2 feet down. Good on Sundays.
Yeah, good on Sundays too, just so they know it's real, man.
Clock frozen, 5:32 to go. Tabron with pressure coming. Got it to Sadler, and he got away from Gash. Corey Sadler, touchdown. One more highlight and a high school career full of them.
Evan, that drive felt like that was a good 3 to 4 minute drive, but I'm looking up and that was about a minute drive there. Corey Sadler Jr., Mylan Griggs getting in on the plays, and you can tell Corey Sadler did not want to be denied there, able to catch that ball flat and low under the defender, able to make a move. He is one of the best players in the state after the catch right here. Able to, and that's a 6'4" Gideon Gash he's throwing off him. Keep in mind, Sadler's 5'11" on paper, probably about 5'8", 5'9" when you go up stand next to him, but man, his heart, you can't measure his heart.
They put the field goal unit on the field, but now they got the swinging gate. Sadler's alone. Remember, he was their quarterback for parts of the last couple of years.
They're going to run an option with Sadler here.
They're going to motion Evans, and Sadler is going to run that option, and he is going to lose yardage. Look, it's the last game of the year. You may as well try everything in the playbook, but that play didn't work.
Nope. They tend to like to have some blockers at the line of scrimmage, and they put all their blockers to the sideline. And usually you see that swinging gate close, and they come and kick it, but right there they try to go for 2. And I mean, defense is all over it. Why wouldn't you be when Sadler's the quarterback? I'd be licking my chops as well.
Still a 2-score game, 16 points with 5:24 to go. Cass Tech gets the score. Tabron does get a touchdown pass in the state championship game. Coming into the semis, Tabron only had 4 interceptions all season. And last year, he played pretty well against Catholic Central. He played brilliantly down the stretch. Combined between the semis and finals, Tabron threw for 6 touchdowns. Justin Sasante said our goal tonight against Tabron is we got to make him uncomfortable. Last year he got way too comfortable too early. Do you think they got the job done in that department tonight?
Boy, did they. I mean, from start to finish. I mean, he's had some good plays, and he's had some missed throws, and he's had some plays where I guarantee he'd want to take it back. And you just got to credit Sasante, Coach Mack, and this defensive staff of really getting after him, applying pressure, and getting to the quarterback, and really affecting the young sophomore.
Mike Mack, the special teams coordinator for Catholic Central, just had the group around him. Cass Tech did have to burn a timeout earlier, so they got the 2 timeouts. And there's no such thing as the 2-minute timeout, 2-minute warning in high school football. So you'd have to think Cass Tech's trying an onside kick here, right?
I would think so, absolutely. Especially with Corey Sadler at the bottom here. Look for the double bounce. Corey Sadler's got a great pair of hands. Number 6 in on there as well. That's the big commit. Marcus Jennings, 6'3". A little bit of height on him.
Garza kicks it high, and Cam Swearingen is there to recover it. There is a flag down. And the early indication is that the Cass Tech kick unit left early.
Good indication of that.
Illegal procedure, kicking team. 5-yard penalty, we'll re-kick.
If you're Garza here, Grant, on this onside kick, what are you trying to do?
You want to try to get that double bounce. You want a low bounce first. You want it to jump high so that Corey Sadler or Will Sykes down here at the bottom of the screen can catch it. But if you kick it inside too far, it allows guys like Cam Swearingen to catch it just how he did. But you want to try to get that thing to the sideline right at Samson Gash, but you want to try to have it bounce late so that they're trying to go up at the highest point. You want to attack some violence and some physicality and try to loosen that ball up. Just make it a scrum, man.
Garza will try it again. He goes the other way this time, and no issues. Pop-up kick, and it's caught right at the 50-yard line. Well down by Ryan, and we go back down to the field in Lexington.
The Michigan Mr. Football favorite, Corey Sadler, finally came undone and got a touchdown for Cass Tech. Keep him in this one. But Sadler said his love of the game started when he was just 7 years old, when a neighbor he calls Mr. Johnson helped set him up for success. Mr. Johnson noticed his aggression when out playing with older kids in the neighborhood and saw something in Sadler that made him believe he was ready to give football a try. So Mr. Johnson forked over $250 to help get Sadler enrolled in the Youth Football League. And Sadler said, "I'll never, ever forget that. He's the reason I'm doing this now." Evan?
Yeah, Corey Sadler's had a lot of great mentors growing up. Went to a charter school, 6th, 7th, 8th grade here in Detroit. Teachers at that charter school talk about how Corey, you know, they would put on the top of the classroom fishes that would go farther and farther the more you read. As Cedric Williams tackled from behind, ball came out, but he's down. I wonder if Marvin Rushing challenges this, because why not? Anyway, to finish that story, Corey Sadler was not much of a reader, and then when it was a competition to read, he read more. Elbows down there for Williams.
Yeah, that's down.
They've called a timeout on the field. I guess if you're Marvin Rushing, why not,
Timeout.
right?
Cass Tech, their second of the half.
Yeah, might as well. You can't take the challenge with you into next season.
Well, he called timeout, which doesn't necessarily mean he's going to go for the challenge. I mean, he's still going to call timeout, stop the clock anyway.
Yeah, that's a great point there, Evan. You got to imagine that he took a glance up and probably saw what we saw on the board, and clearly the elbow hits, then the ball pops out, and as we know, the ground can't cause a fumble as long as one of those body parts hits first, put you down. And I imagine CC just sticks to the run game here. Cedric Williams and company, maybe a little revisit to the tight T. Cass Tech, you got to beat gap sound here and do everything and anything to get that ball out.
5 minutes to go and 7 seconds in the 2025 Michigan high school football season. We've already crowned 7 champions, and Catholic Central is on the doorstep of being our 8th and final one of the longer weekend than normal. Cedric Williams will run it. He'll plow into that defensive line, and gain a couple of yards. Marvin Rushing will burn his last time out for Cass Tech. You know, Grant, while we have a moment, I think it's important to recognize all the folks at the MHSAA who work so hard behind the scenes to make this possible. Of course, usually the Michigan High School football finals held on Friday and Saturday. This year, a wrinkle moved to Sunday because Michigan State played their final game of the season here at Ford Field last night. Big day for the Spartan football program. A new head coach, reported to be former Northwestern coach Pat Fitzgerald, on the horizon. But just want to give a huge shout out to all the folks who are working behind the scenes. Don't want to name too many particular names because then you leave people out and you feel bad. But one person who deserves a lot of love is John Ross. These broadcasts could not be possible without his work. Andy as well as part of that communications department, working so hard to get the information from all the teams here, helping us set up Zoom calls, helping us work with the production crews, making our jobs and lives very easy. As you may imagine, wherever you're watching and listening, however you're doing it, finding information on high school football teams is not quite as easy as finding information on a college team or Lord knows an NFL team. So thank you to John and his entire team of the MHSAA for making our jobs really, really easy on one of the busiest weekends of the year for everybody involved. And thank you to all of you who have watched on the NFHS Network this weekend. A new era for the MHSAA football finals in terms of broadcasting. And appreciate you making this leap into the future with us. Banta on 3rd down 8. He's taken a home run shot. Why not do it again? Gideon Gash just put the cherry on top of a state championship Sunday for Catholic Central. If you haven't heard of Gideon Gash, learn his name.
Not one, not two, but 3 touchdowns for the junior, 6'4", two-way player. Majors in cornerback, but minors in receiver. And boy, is that a great minor does he have. He is a deep threat waiting to burst, but he's got 3 deep threat touchdowns today. He has been the difference maker in the air. So we thought Samson Gash was going to be the guy. It's been younger but bigger, bro. Gideon Gash standing at 6'4", and boy, Cass Tech was not ready for that play right there.
Grant, you just brought up the best point of the night. If you had told Catholic Central fans before this game, Samson Gash, we're going to get to 5 minutes to go in the game, and he's not going to have a touchdown, they'd go, oh boy, things aren't going well, right? Well, they're up by 23 points with 4:52 to go.
And what's crazy is, I mean, Gideon Gash has Randy Moss numbers. I mean, Randy Moss on Thanksgiving so many years ago, he had 3 for 180 or whatever and 3 touchdowns. Gideon Gash is doing his best Randy Moss impression with 3 receptions, 126 yards and 3 touchdowns. Every time he touches the rock, he turns it into gold. Are you kidding me? With a 48 long catch and a 42-yard average per catch, Gideon Gash has shown why this CC team is so deep and why they made this run. Doesn't matter who it is. They got a number of cats on that team that can beat you. And just when you think you're in this game and you're falling asleep, they're going to hit you with that deep ball. Gideon Gash answers the score there. Catholic Central in dominant control here late.
Lex told you at the top of the broadcast, this year's motto for Catholic Central, finish what we started. It's a team that lost to Cass Tech in the semis last year by 3 points on a blocked field goal with half a minute left. A program that hasn't won a state championship in 16 years, which when you've won 10 state championships, that may as well be 60. Tonight, to all those talent evaluators across the state who doubted Catholic Central all year long, they are making those talent evaluators eat their words. Goddard will pop it up. And the technicians will call for fair catch with LaMarcus Army. Very easily, Grant. We could see both of these teams back here next year. Tabron just the sophomore. Julian Taylor and a ton of the skill players for Cass Tech are underclassmen. Banta, the quarterback for Catholic Central, Gideon Gash are just juniors. Cass Tech and Catholic Central in a rivalry that over the last 15 years has been one-sided. Catholic Central today is exorcising demons. Tabron to throw, and he's got another fastball to Corey Sadler as Gideon Gash finally got him down. Grant, as a couple of football nerds like you and I, it's just been a lot of fun to watch Sadler go against both those gashes today.
It has, and you know, I bet Sadler is just like, man, these gashes are everywhere, whether they're in defense or offense. Corey Sadler's had to gone up against both of them, and it's been a great battle between the three of them.
Flag coming out. It's about to be another penalty on Cass Tech. They're 9th.
False start, offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Speaking of Sadler, number 1 in green and white, what position do you think he's going to play in college? Where do you think he projects out at?
That's a great question. I see him more so on the offensive side of the football with his electric playmaking, his great hands. But don't count out being a DB as well. I just see him being too valuable not to have the ball in his hands. He is a explosive playmaker waiting to explode. And once I get him into that weight room, get him into the speed conditioning training, he's going to be heck to deal with.
Tabron throw. Got it to his man. Evans with speed. And Evans got crushed. Gideon Gash. That is a hip check worthy of LCA a few blocks away.
You hear coaches and players say, man, I got to get my dollars up, or I got to make some money today. I'll tell you one thing, that number 11 down there for that Valiant Blue has been making some money today, and we'll call it NIL money because every college in the nation is going to be coming after this kid because they already are. Because he's fine to the football, he's physical, he's 6'4", he's a two-way player, he's versatile, he's coachable, and he comes from a lineage of football guys. What wouldn't you want number 11 Gideon Gash on your team?
There was also a flag back in the backfield.
Personal foul, offense, 15 yards from the end of the run, still first down.
And look, Grant, now we're getting to the point of the game where Catholic Central is 4 minutes away from the state championship. There was a lot of talk, a lot of smack coming into this game. So now you hope for both sides. No funny business. You believe in Justin Sasante and Marvin Rushing. They're outstanding leaders of men. No funny business as we get to this thing to the finish line. This game does not deserve that.
No, I hope it just levels out and everyone can hit the clock at 0. And another thing, too, is we got a lot of prospects out here, a lot of seniors that are going on to play the next level. Jack Janet, Wisconsin, Benny Azuka, recently decommitted from Penn State. All signs maybe point to Virginia Tech with James Franklin. Go down the line. I mean, a lot of guys have the opportunity to play the next level here very soon, so don't want to see any injuries as well. Everyone stay up, be smart. Let's make this a fun last 4 minutes of this D1 state final. You see Catholic Central here rotating into a high look. 2 safeties in the back end. Getting ready for some type of deep pass coverage.
It's first down and a long way to go. Tabron on first down and 20. Tux runs. Oh, he spun away from Luka Genrich. That was impressive. And that is Tabron's best run of the night.
And that's the run he needed on the 4th down and 15 a few drives ago to keep this game so much closer. And Tabron able to navigate the lane. And you can see right here, he looks right, looks left, and just takes off. And he's got some wheels, he's got some speed, and you can tell he's got some size. The young sophomore picking up some good yards there on first down, making this a 2nd down and 3.
Did get out of bounds to stop the clock. Again, Cass Tech got a timeout, so they can't stop it anymore.
If you're Catholic Central, you just want to keep everything in front of you. No deep balls behind you. Rally and make the tackle in front of you.
Tabron got him in stride. This hasn't gone the way that Cass Tech would wanted. There's the first catch of the game for William Sykes, who only needs one arm to catch the football.
I'm starting to think he should have been in this game a long time ago. He's running a deep dig route here, and Donald Tabron explodes and fires a bullet across the middle. Great catch in coverage by Will Sykes.
I mean, look at that.
That's impressive.
That's remarkable. Poor Will's out there with one arm. Tabron's got to evacuate the pocket. And Jalen Lewis wouldn't let him go. We got a big man pick. Oh, look at Benny Azuka go. It's a big man pick six in the state championship game. Benny has waited his whole life for that play.
Man, oh man, and Benny Azuka finding himself at the right place, the right time, and then he gets the convoy going. Big boy rumble, stumbling down the sideline, and then gets a last-second block from Jack Janda. The two Big Ten commits walking in the end zone side by side. Benny Azuka, not one to usually touch the ball, but says, I'm going to make the most of my opportunity with my last few minutes as a Catholic Central Shamrock. And Benny Azuka, you walk off that field proud, young man. Doing your team and your school and your community proud. Talk about an eruption in this stadium. Benny Azuka just set off the thermostat.
What you are seeing right now is 16 years of catharsis coming out of the Detroit Catholic Central community. They used to live in these championship games. They won 3 in a row in the early 2000s. They've won 10 all time. But they have waited a decade and 6 years for this. As Goddard just missed his second extra point. I mean, Benny Azuka's running down the field, and I hope we can get another look at that, because I think my favorite part of that pick six for Benny Azuka was he gets to like the 10, and he looks back and goes, shoot, there's one guy behind me, and then Janda gave him the block late to get in the end zone. That was hilarious.
That was, and right here, it all starts with number 24. That's Jalen Lewis getting the pressure on the quarterback. And that's been the story. Del Tabron hasn't had an easy day, and once you get Benny Azuka down the sideline, you can see him hustling, trying to get across. Will Sykes, give him credit, number 5, for hustling, trying to make a tackle, but 6'6" Jack Janda able to get that last-second touchdown block.
All right, Lex, what do you got for us on the sidelines?
That pick six from O-line, D-line, two-way captain Benny Azuka. He's an offensive line, 4-year starter, and guys like IMG have tried to steal him over the years, head coach Justin Sasante said, but he knows what it really means to be a Shamrock. Sasante said he plays both ways. He's like having a coach on the field. His IQ is out of this world. He's one of the smartest football players I've ever had the pleasure of being around, and he's also a great voice for the guys. Evan?
You know, we got some rarities, Lex, this year for Catholic Central football. You got a junior captain in Duke Banta. You got a 4-year player in Benny Azuka. It used to be a rule in the program. You could be Tom Brady. You're not playing on varsity as a freshman. But things have changed at Catholic Central. And Cass Tech is going into the bag of tricks. There's multiple flags down. I believe they're about to get maybe a penalty on a hit here, as Sadler took it to the 40-yard line, and Marquell Evans was crushed. Also could be forward pass, of course. We'll take it.
Kickoff. Return to the 41-yard line. There are penalty flags on the field.
During the run, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, kicking team. 15 yards from the end of the run, first down.
Check it out here. I think they get number 23, Beckett Glenn, on the late hit. Just a little bit unnecessary. Ball's away. Turns into that old roughing the passer, if you will. And ball's clearly out. Beckett Glenn just trying to get in on the play. And just a little too aggressive there, number 23, Beckett Glenn. I understand your excitement. But Cass Tech here with a opportunity to do something with these last 3 minutes. And Evan, this has felt like the longest 3 minutes, because just about 20 minutes ago, it was at 6:30. Score was like 29-7. There's been a lot happen here in this last 3 minutes. And it's only right. This is the D1 state final. Of course, there's going to be some fireworks here late.
Are you saying you want Michigan high school football season to end?
No, I'm saying I want it to go longer.
Come on now.
Let's get a few more penalties. Let's keep this thing rolling, Evan.
I got no plans tomorrow. I'll be here all day, baby. They'll throw it out to Corey Sadler. He got away from Samson Gash. And then Samson's little brother said, okay, big bro, you can't make the tackle. I'll make the tackle.
I'd love to be able to sit the two of them down, Gideon and Samson, and just ask some brotherly questions like, do you guys still bicker? You still fight? You know, does Gideon have the edge because he's a little bit bigger? Or Samson, do you have the wisdom on him, you know, the age and the experience? But, I mean, these two brothers have been the difference maker for this team this year, along with so many other players for this Catholic Central team. And they've just been two-way demons for the Shamrocks.
Tabron play fake. Pressure coming again. And there's a flag down as the pass is incomplete. We've had 17 combined penalties between the two teams, and there have been also multiple flags that have not been accepted. Early indication is it's on Cass Tech.
Holding. Offense. 10 yards from the previous spot. Still second down.
Graham, remember how we were talking about earlier Catholic Central and their 3 prior state championship games against Cass Tech outscored 134-54? Well, Cass Tech's still going to have the upper hand here, 3-1. But as Catholic Central keeps growing the lead, that margin is getting a little bit closer.
Yeah, they're aiming to cut that margin down. They put a lot of points up here in these last few minutes of the fourth quarter. Credit to Benny Azuka and number 24, Jalen Mount Lewis on that last defensive possession. Forcing the pressure on Tabron and forcing another turnover for points.
Tabron surveys the options and finds Mylan Griggs. You going to get a chance to run down and say hi to your cousin after the game?
Oh, yeah.
What's going on here?
I'm going to say hi to the family, and I'm sure they won't be in the best mood, but Mylan's had some great catches out here. He's got such a bright future. Not only is he a skilled receiver, but he's got some great size, and he's going to grow into that frame. And he's already got some offers from around the country. Just imagine that's going to keep growing. The more tape he puts out, the more film he gets. Still working hard here late in the game. You'd like to see that out of the Cass Tech technicians.
There will be better days for the green guys, no question about it. That's another incomplete pass. Samson Gash, of all the guys to drop a pick.
He's usually catching the ball the other way. This time it's coming to him a little bit of a different direction, but I think Donald Tabron just hit his limit here tonight. He's just kind of throwing the ball wherever, just trying to hope and praying for the best outcome. And ooh, good thing those guys are getting up. That was a collision between Becca Glenn and Samson Gash there, and they've really gotten to Tabron. He's had some throws that I really haven't seen all season. Some forced throws, some fumbles in the backfield, and credit this CC defense for getting after him here tonight.
Cass Tech has been held to a season low 13 points. Tabron going down. Dom Alam joins the party.
It's never too late to affect the game, and right there, the clock on Donald Tabron just not going off, understanding, hey, 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, I got to do something with that football, because guys like Dom Alam are coming around that corner. Number 8, getting a nice quarterback tackle late in this ball game.
Coming up on 90 seconds to go in a season that they will remember forever at Detroit Catholic Central. Tabron to Sadler, and Jalen Mont Lewis is not letting him get into the end zone. There will be one final offensive snap, at least this season, for the technicians. Cass Tech is one of the finest high school football programs in the Midwest. They have had better days, and they will have better days. But they ran into a Catholic Central program that before the season wanted to finish what they started last season when they lost in the semifinals to Cass Tech. And they are about to accomplish that mission. Tabron on 4th down. Throw, Sadler catch, and there will be more offense for Cass Tech in 2025.
It's only right. CJ keeps the drive going. Donald Tabron able to find a little window on the sideline. Got to hurry up and clock this one.
Cass Tech, you know, right now they're staring down the opposite end. Last year they beat Hudsonville in the state championship 42-20. They do get a touchdown here. Unfortunately for them, the script is flipped. You know, Grant, I'm standing up here thinking, right? Donald Tabron is clearly talented. Clearly there are big things ahead for him. A game like this in the state championship game, when you just won it as a freshman, and all these people are telling you you're awesome, and all these colleges keep calling you and texting you, in the long run, this may be the best thing for Donald Tabron.
It really may be. This may be the point in his career where he just takes over and becomes a different type of beast. He's already such a skilled player, but this could really put him over the edge and set him up for a great junior and senior season.
Tabron floats it. Sadler didn't make the catch. I mean, him and Gideon Gash, it looked like Gideon mistimed his leap a little bit, and Sadler couldn't survive the ground, but that was a heck of an effort.
That was decent ball placement, too, back of the end zone, only where Corey Sadler could get his hand on it. I mean, that's a tough location. That's the ball thrown over a 6'4" cornerback. Yes, you heard me, folks, 6'4". Usually you see that at the defensive end position. You may see a D tackle or no lineman there, but no, that's a cornerback at 6'4" and Gideon Gash.
3rd down 10, 21 seconds left until the Catholic Central coronation. Tabron, throw, and Sykes. Yeah, he was in. The man who has one arm just scored a touchdown.
And the one thought these coaches for Cass Tech may have tonight as their head hit the pillow is, why didn't we keep Will Sykes in the game? You know, he's got one arm, but maybe that's all he needs to be the player we know he is. Will Sykes has been a dominant force for this team all year, and getting in the game here late, see he's effective with that cast, but not effective to catch it. He's been catching every ball thrown his way in his 4th quarter, and only right way to go out as a senior.
Cool to see Marvin Rushing as well. Give him a hug. Look, you can see the frustration for Cass Tech. This is a very proud program, and they're not used to this. Their 23-game winning streak is coming to an end tonight. Garza's extra point is no good. We've got a doink.
They didn't want to flip the script, Evan. They didn't want to get that 20 like you mentioned. They said, we're going to stay right at 19 and go ahead and take this into the game here. But Cass Tech able to score here late to add a little bit to their lead, to their deficit. You got to imagine Catholic Central here is going to get the ball and just hopefully kneel it out, get to the middle and accept that big trophy that's rightfully theirs.
4-0, perfect weekend for the Catholic League. Jackson Lumen Christi, Orchard Lake St. Mary's, and Dearborn Divine Child won it on Friday. And Catholic Central beats Cass Tech on Sunday. While we get a second, too, again, congratulations to all our state champs this weekend. Harbor Beach, Divine Child, Jackson Lumen Christi, Orchard Lake St. Mary's, Menominee, little UP power to start this morning on Sunday. DeWitt and Grand Rapids West Catholic, and soon to be Detroit Catholic Central.
What are the chances Coach Sassante gets to sleep tonight? I feel like he's going to go home and just talk to his old homies, get a couple of guys together and just talk football all night. I don't see the Justin Sassante getting any sleep tonight. Worked so hard for this moment. Can't imagine what it's like to be an alum, to come back to your school, as we see so many of these college coaches do, but to do it at the high school level, at the purest level of football, and bring your team back to where they known to be and know where they can go. And Justin Sassante's done that. he's brought along this community, and he's made some promises, and he's come through and delivered with them. Justin Sasante, hats off to you, brother.
Garza will pop up the kick. And Catholic Central will call fair catch. We have another flag.
Kicking team, 5-yard penalty and re-kick.
We'll kick it again. Catholic Central community is stuck around until the bitter end. Most of Cass Tech's faithful, and they had a great showing tonight. They've headed back home. They're not used to leaving this place feeling sad. Cass Tech will be back here much sooner rather than later. Garza pops up the kick again, and fair catch made again by Peyton Safran. In Bizarro land, Peyton's dad used to play and coach at Brother Rice, and he was one of the last men to touch the football as Catholic Central is about to win a state championship.
So crazy. Coach Safran was my OC and receiver coach throughout my time at Brother Rice. He was my head coach my senior year, and I used to see Peyton running around the field, little Peyton coming up just about my kneecap and jumping in the jump pit or the sand pit on the field and just running around making a mess and giving Coach Fracassa a hard time. Coach Fracassa used to yell, "Peyton, what are you doing? Peyton, get over here." But crazy, blew my mind to find out that the young Peyton Safran, the junior now on this ball team, making a difference and soon to be a state champion. Congrats to Peyton and all the rest of these Shamrocks. And job well done.
Duke Banta's about to take the snap that he's been dreaming about since day one of training camp. They're bringing the trophy home to 27225 Danaher Drive for the 11th time in their illustrious history. The Shamrocks of Detroit Catholic Central are state champions.